As always, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you! Hate is funny. We make fun of people who come in here and be like, bro, fucking go kill yourself, you fucking tranny whore, buzz, fucking... And I'm like, okay, first of all, let me ask you, why do you believe what you believe? And is there any way I can change your opinion of belief? And first of all, I am just a cross-dresser. So then I, go into the spew about, what do you call a woman who wears pants? Well, normal. What do you call a dude who wears a dress? A cross-dresser. Well, at some point in time, that's not going to be the case. At some point in time, it's just going to be acceptable that you can just wear whatever clothes you want. And if you want to wear makeup, just wear makeup. Gotta go check on our food. So close to dead. Nice, right in the face. What an ending. What an ending. If you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. Oh, well, I guess we can, we got a bunch of new shit. So if you want to check out the new emotes and the new commands, we also got timed messages now. 33,259. Holy shit, bro. Blow me out of the water. I'm like, where the hell should I put Garuda? I also made commands for abbreviations, so you can just write !T. I also did this one. You can go 8-ball. Don't know your Dragon Ball Z lore, bro? Magic Ball shows that Cute Muffin is going to write an abject failure of a Horus historical story. Better get right and get that one over with. And then there's in the bestiary, there is like 10 or 15 races that have a high class. There's like, 5 in the world of their species have like the lowest level of intelligence. Yeah, I added emotes. You are currently the only one who can use that, though, because only subscribers can use the Gooner emote. A story that's got, like, AI imagery, and then it's me telling the story. We've got a story that's AI imagery with text-to-speech. And then we have me reading a short story, and another AI-generated imagery with AI reading a short story. Because who doesn't love a lurker? Lurkers are the best. I just love the roach out because I stacked 36 lurkers, and I just unburrowed them. And it was like, all the roaches scattering everywhere. Oh, it was fucking so good. So good. Always, thanks for watching, guys. And remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. We got some new shit. Check this shit out. So we got bouncing emotes now, boys. It's not as good as ChatGPT. My dad has ChatGPT. I'm just not. It's great for being free. Into Mr. Ballin. That's the idea. He's been here forever, man. He's the OG, bro.
Finally. Jeez. Come on, Speedy.
No intoxication OMFG.
Wow. He's really on there good.
Thank you so much for the subscription, Smokey. Welcome to the fucking club, bro. You are, he's the second, bro. Here you go. I gotta upgrade you to everything. Thank you so much. Feel free to be god of the channel now. Oh my god. I don't know why the points thing isn't working. I was gonna give you a shit ton of points. Okay? There should, I don't know, a breakout success of a mystery story. Yo, 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 boys, how's it going? We back! I'm not using camo, too ugly. You're not ugly, Callie. Big Basilisk! Or Big Bosky? Big Bosky, TLC. How's it going, bro? Welcome, welcome! How are you? We here! True. So, Callie, you had a question. What is your question? Oh man, not bad. Hope you good. Hell yeah, brother. And I saw on the Discord there, Callie, I saw the was it in the general chat? No, someone else dropped that in there. Is it in the public stories? Yes. So if you guys are interested, we could listen to this. Callie reading chapter 1. Alright, I want to hear your idea, Callie. Go, 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 go. What's your idea? I'm interested. Hell yeah. Callie's got an epic voice. Whoops, that was not... I did not mean to click on that. No, that's not what I want. Short stories. Bring all this stuff up. Today we'll actually be writing. We're going to be doing scene 4 and 5 today. Most likely. We won't be using the character profiles yet. That's usually a aftermath scenario to pick up. Don't forget to mention our stream. That's what the commentary is, Sinister. Didn't you see? Podcast collab. That's the commentary we're talking about today. I figure we might as well just use that as the commentary and then use that as a way to format and get feedback on the podcast. Yeah. See, I'm always one step ahead, guys. I got this stuff figured out. At least I try to. I don't like I like winging it with like a general idea, right? But not just like I already go off on way too many tangents. I need to be fucking grounded in what I'm talking about, you know? That's kind of my issue. Is I'm just way too all over the place to have no structure whatsoever. Or we really are going to wind up in a scenario where we're talking about something we really shouldn't be talking about. That shit happens sometimes. Oh. But yes, so Sinister, since you're here, do you want me to read one of your short stories? The next short story. So what we can do is we can read your story, Sinister, and then when we're done with that... No, I'm good? Alright, alright. Why don't you want me to read it? I want to read it. You don't want me to read it? What? I bought the book. I want to read the book, bro. Oh, shit. Is Botrix broken again? Okay, try now.
Okay.
Okay, she's back. You know what's just as appealing as reading a book published by authors, reading a story published by fans. Exactly, Hybrid. That's what it's all about, which makes it just as fun in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. That's why we try to do like the community thing here. I would rather read something
write a story in the style of those long-titled animes, like a newbie with no combat skills gets through an SSS ranked dungeon with an absurdly high charisma stat, and it turns out it's a demon harem dungeon where the main character collects succubi and liches and banshees to join his
Party. Damn, Callie, that would go fucking hard. You know what that reminds me of? I can't remember what the name of the anime is. But it's like this really super hyper-sexualized anime with like these gates that appear. The main character's sister is like lost in this other world, and all of like the main character has him as like a sex slave, and he like turns, and he's like the only male that has a superpower. It's a fucked up anime. Basically, he turns into like to use his powers, they have to like go through some sort of like I don't know exactly what to call it. But something extremely sexual has to happen, basically, as like his reward for using his powers. Then wait till I leave, please. I'm not comfortable anymore with hearing my own stories. I know it sounds weird, but that's me. But Sinister, I don't want to read it if you're not here. But, I mean, I guess I understand. But, I mean, you really should get used to people reading your stuff. Like... But I mean, I totally respect that, so if you don't want me to read it while you're here, I won't read it while you're here. We can just add it to the rotation, and it'll just be one of those things. But I mean, that kind of, to me, it just loses the charm of it. If ever I send you my Sapphire Universe origin story, I'll be prepared to have you read the lore while I'm here. Exactly, Ninja, right? That's kind of like I'm reading through... like 400 pages of lore from Rick. And I fucking love it. And we've only gone through like 2 or 3 characters.
Streamer can't even get his camera right. Fuck freeze frames. Oh, there it goes. That's the
Damn, Smokey! Welcome, welcome. How's it going, bro? He got the spam in him. He got the spam in him, boys. He loved that. He loved that shit. Shalom, hey Smokey, how's it going? Did you miss me playing Monster Hunter yesterday? Cause damn, bro, we got like the most badass clip yesterday. Check this fucking shit out. Oh shit. Dude, I got it! Oh my god! I fucking got it! Oh my god, that's insane. He's almost dead. Dude, he's almost dead. Can we trap this fucker? He's just dead. Holy shit. That was fucking insane. I've never done that before. That was so epic. I love how Capcom has done that. Yo, I won't have any new chapters to show you this week, but I'm cooking up the biggest chapter yet. What's going on in writing in the meantime? Ooh, Joku, yes. We're still on Chiral Clones. We're working everything up. We have the entire outline done. We have the character profiles done. All we need now is to write the rough draft and then edit. And we're fucking good to go. Everything's pretty much set up. But hell yeah, brother. No worries and no rush on it, man. You finish it when you finish it. But Callie, we're gonna, since Sinister doesn't want us to read that, while we're getting started, we're just gonna pull up your story and we're just gonna listen to you. Here we go, guys. This is Callie.
A butterfly will glide, with all of New York City on her wings. The first glass meteor crashed into the insect inn of the Bronx Zoo. Streams of pinks, violets, and indigos followed a meteor through the sky. From this glass, large meteoroids broke off and struck the ground. The meteoroids melted upon the streets and formed bubbles that encapsulated buildings. They sent them afloat.
Thank you
Still,
for
a
redeeming
large
chair
enough
dance.
meteor threatened
Hitox
New
will
York
now
within
dance for you.
eclipse.
Please fully
The
enjoy
sun
this
was a
immersive
flaming candle
experience.
put out by that breath, and the meteor, its new bulb. The world besieged by freezing glass wouldn't be a livable world for any of them. Above it all was what no one else could see as the trees blocked their view. New York City was now a city in the sky. Buildings were sent flying and their windows
Keep
cracked.
dancing, bitch, it ain't over
There
yet.
was no other glass other than the glass that flew. varied colors upon them from the light of the meteor. Nothing could prepare a city for this, and so is the case for its people. Below, the human ants scurried in the confused weather. Glass slivers shot through men and women who yelled out in a crowd of summer colors. White on a middle-aged man's shirt stained with mustard. Lemon yellow in the jeans of a teenager who pointed towards the sky. Candy apple red and mandarin orange in the striped crop top of a young
You did
woman.
good, you can rest now, babe.
Prepared for a leisurely July with gorgeous animals, the air tasted and felt like the initial blast of cold powder in December.
Do not drink water. Do not leave your
The
seat.
beasts of
Do
New
not
York
move your
leapt
feet.
from their
Do not
feasts in the
stretch.
confusion
Do not go
of
to
this
the
new
bathroom.
darkness.
Have another toke.
Mantises
already
leapt
packed.
with sides flailing in their erratic failure to grasp the air. Butterflies that landed on frozen to
I think I could make it so he has such high charisma that his charisma leaks into his other stats, so he convinces his stats to increase through pure riz. That's fucking amazing, Callie. That is such a unique idea. He literally charismas his fucking stats up. I fucking love that idea, bro. That is badass.
the rain had their legs fall off.
What do you
in
mean,
the
wait,
first light.
Smokey?
Bubbles trapped these insects in polished spheres. They rose with the insect in from the strong draft below. The same fate fell upon two people, a child and her mother. The woman let out a shrill scream. She scurried with her child under the end, but they could find no shelter. None inside the cave to the right as rocks fell to block the entrance. A glass sphere latched on to the mother's leg. Still, the mother held on to her child. The child grabbed her belly where her yet-to-be-born sister kicked against the walls.
I'm sorry, Smokey.
Stay
I
calm.
fucked up.
Remember, Elise? Count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, she said. Frostbite swallowed her leg with a cold grey. Yet her eyes swallowed the pain with wonder and exhilaration as they swam in her sockets to survey the rest of the Bronx Zoo. Animals that perished in the cold sent her into a further wonder. Hawks could not fly, their wings frozen and stiff. Leopards shivered as their fur shed from the cold. While adrift, the child caught rubble to shatter the bubble on her mother's leg. Their bodies rattled the roof of the insect den when they fell upon it. To their left, bearded dragons skirted the dome of their habitat. She wasn't alone. A man on the light-teal dome held a young boy in his arms. Blood dripped from the child's forehead, already dry with chips in the cold. He walked towards the woman and saw her wound. His eyes opened wide at the sight of a foot blitten blue from the cold. He saw her bewilderment and her amazement. He could see she knew nothing of her foot as she fixated on the city in the sky. Knowing nothing of how to treat frostbite, he focused on his child. To stop the bleeding, he held his head close. Dragons met with butterflies. Lizard tongues lodged in fixed jaws could not grab prey in their mouths to eat. Instead, the insects fused with the lizards in frosty glass domes. Trapped, the four spent days, floating there without food.
There, is that better?
The meteor, a glass
You
rock
can read along.
suspended in the air, continued on its path towards New York. Arms around their stomachs, they groaned. There were only lizards, leopards, and insects of various species to eat. Neither family wanted to resort to eating wild animals.
Do you think this
but
is
some
dark? You should
in
check out Be
cave.
the Music.
Peter ate
This is a
bearded dragon
romance.
cooked a light brown by radiation. His boy opened his eyes to see his father with a lizard in his mouth. Remember what the locals in Florida said about lizard meat, James? Chicken of the trees. Should be okay to eat, he said to his boy. Spikes grew under his chin when he swallowed. His eyes went black and wide, golden at their edge. Ears receded into his head, a pit where the appendage used to be. His eyes turned yellow. Scared, James backed off into a statue of a leopard that struggled to move. How did it get here? Said James. Above was bubble after fractured bubble. Could the leopard have leapt from each? It couldn't be. You'd have to be strong. Very strong and at least somewhat resistant to cold. The only reason the four had survived so far. They hadn't been close enough to the glass to experience the full force of its cold. James inspected the leopard and saw it was larger than any he had ever seen. Its fur thicker than the others whose coats were almost gone. The other leopards floated in bubbles around the ruined building to the northwest. In the large cat's mouth were two flowers, holly and pink camellia. The leopard's flesh boiled, and James had his stomach replaced by a cauldron, fear a fire in his belly. He pinched his eyes and shook his head, realized the leopard was fine, that he was just seeing things again. If that's really it, then there's reason to worry. Reason to fall sick. He felt himself thirstier than he had ever been. James grabbed the flowers from the animal and shoved it in his mouth. Chips of ice and blood fell from his head. He didn't feel cold anymore. His body exuded a heat along with a strength that made him feel he could take on the beast in front of him if it weren't already dead. It was now obvious to them this was no ordinary meteor. They realized the glass meteor was radioactive. Everything around it evolved to survive this new New York City. If it didn't die to the frigid temperatures, the bubbles rearranged the DNA of every living creature to make them strong and unique. That's what happened to his father. A desire for the same strength rose through his spine, so he ate the part of the leopard most affected by the radiation of the glass, its paws. He grew fur with spots about him. His thighs thickened and calves thinned out with claws at the end of his paws. He grew the pointed ears, yellow eyes, long furry tail, wet black snout and whiskers of a leopard. The red hair upon his head grew longer, more vibrant and into the shape of a mohawk. James then let go of his old name. He called himself Leopold but kept his middle and last names. So now he was Leopold Feared Acre, names that meant leopard lion and feared place. Leopold walked back to his dad. You will need a name change as well, father, because this is a new life for us, said Leopold. Peter, his father, licked his own eyes. Son, forget the name. What have you turned into? What have I? Did I just lick my eyeball? He stared at his claws and held his tail in his arms. James, said his father. It's Leopold. Don't let this get to you. You were born weak. You were harassed. Called names. I know you must feel stronger now, and you do indeed look stronger. But be careful who you turn into. There was no use in the city for a man like his father. He could not see the new world about to rise with the glass. Leopold grabbed the butterfly over his scales of the bearded dragon,
Get up, you fat fuck, and touch
pouncing
your
on
toes.
bubble
I
after
know you
bubble.
can't, but
He
try
clawed
anyways.
at them.
Don't fall over though.
After they popped was a furious and freezing wind that barely had Leopold flinch. He flew in the current towards the girl who sat on the insect inn with solid tears on her face. He handed her a petal of holly and camellia he hadn't finished and hid the monarch butterfly under a fold. Have this. You'll feel better. She shivered, the space between her brows pinched and mouth left agape. The girl hyperventilated, though Leopold could see in her eyes she was thirsty. He remembered how he felt when he saw the holly. The only way for him to survive his thirst, this cold. He sighed and took her chin to keep her mouth open and to lay the flowers and butterfly inside it. She chewed and swallowed. Eyes went wide, then much
Nice
like
try,
disco
better luck
balls.
next time, fat ass.
She grew
Get
the
back in
wings
that
of the
chair,
monarch
you lazy
butterfly.
ass shit streamer.
Though Leopold's hands were animalistic, the girl had human arms with the same flesh as before. No extra limbs either. Long antennae though, proboscis. fur all along her body. Leopold closed his eyes and scoffed. I thought you'd be strong, not this dainty thing, he said. To their right, a large bubble crashed into a tall building across from Crotona Parkway. That building was torn in half, then lifted into the sky. Her wings did not give in to the icy winds which blasted at them both. Kaleidoscopic eyes remained open while his own fur did give in. He had to shut his eyes until the winds calmed. He unsheathed his claws and had a go at her face, but she deflected his paw, her arm thrown away. He was stronger, but she was faster. No, he thought. She isn't faster. She knew my intentions before I knew them. If I could see like you, you'd be dead, said Leopold. He huffed. Don't try to hurt me. I see too much, and I already feel I've seen too much, she said. The butterfly tilted her head down and to the right, focused her eyes on her mother who
This
stared
streamer
at
is
the
garbage. I don't
transformed
want these
city.
L channel points.
The wind threw the Church of God of Southern Boulevard into the area. The building crashed into a bubble that refused to shatter. She would cry if she could, thought Leopold. Her mother might need to get her foot amputated. Anyone in her shoes would cry. What should we call you? My name is Elise, but now that I feel so new, my old name seems inappropriate. Do you think Monica is a fitting name? She asked. She extended her proboscis towards and around the leopard's neck and squeezed. Leopold coughed, reached for his neck to remove her appendage, but she did so herself, before his claws could rend her. A sting radiated stronger on his neck the further away she moved her proboscis. She had cut him. I'm still thirsty. Your neck had a bit of frost on it. I took care of it, said Monica.
Somebody gonna get a
Leopold
real
couldn't
bad.
catch up to her. Couldn't touch her even though he
I'm not
was
talking
faster,
how I do it.
stronger. Monica knew
It
him
is bad
before he
timing.
knew himself. That was her only advantage.
Do you also redeem, sir?
Do you think we'll ever be grounded again? Leopold looked around. The city? Not just the city.
But I understand, sir.
You. What do you mean I'm not grounded? He sat cross-legged, closed his eyes and held his head with his left paw, elbow on his lap. She sat with him. You think this is a new world, but nothing's really different, except your ego. They crashed into a bubble that encapsulated them and brought with it an enraged storm. Peter was already sheltered from the bubbles in a glass dome. Monica's mother had bubbles cover her and carry her into the air. Before the breeze could take Monica's mother into the ceiling of
Go
the
back
bubble,
to normal, bitch.
the butterfly
This shit-ass
fluttered
accent
over
is
to her.
killing me. You
Monica
are in for
set
it
her
now,
down in
sweetheart.
the Church
Take
of
those
God,
sexy glasses
next
off like a
to the
good
white
girl.
cross
You
that
don't
shone
need to see
bright
what
on the
happens
roof.
next.
Bothered by the light, Monica's mother turned herself over despite the pain.
That's the timestamp, Callie.
Leopold, help me find a flower for my mother to eat. He rolled his eyes but leapt towards Hornaday Community Garden. The garden had bubbles that rolled and roamed like tumbleweeds in the desert. The
I
air
cheated.
was dry as the emerald railings covered in frost. Stairs led to a statue of a rooster where below it was a sign that read love in varied colors. Fake sunflowers and spinners lay in wooden fences filled with dirt.
I could fall
Real
asleep to this,
flowers
Callie.
that before the meteor could not
So
endure
peaceful.
the cold now stood tall and proud. He scarfed down all the flowers he could. Leopold found the pink camellia, like a rose but intricate.
I miss my sexy
The
librarian.
clover
You can put
flower,
those sweet
like a
sight
pine
setters back
cone,
in
but
place,
with
slut.
thinner purple spikes, and pink sweet peas like the butterfly. Not as beautiful as Monica, though. The flowers around him burrowed, like the leopard before. Black bubbles with no shine to them. Eyes could not penetrate their surface. Nothing could. He shook himself of these visions and looked around. There was a mantis that was hidden by a lotus flower. A wasp headed straight for him with its stinger. It could not get past his robust fur to reach his flesh. She could use this. No, I could use her. He grabbed the insects and hid them in the flowers. Leopold jumped back towards the church, again atop bubbles that sent whirlwinds as he went. Propelled towards her, he made it and walked towards her with the flowers. She couldn't trust him yet. Monica whipped at Leopold with her proboscis. "What was that for?" he asked. "Mother is dying. Eat the flowers yourself. Just a nibble. Make sure they're safe," said Monica. Leopold did as she asked. Nothing happened. She grabbed the flowers and rushed over to her mother to stuff her mouth with them. Leopold's claws fell off, and so did his fangs. He breathed.
And yeah, we're just gonna pause there, hold out for a second, so we don't, miss anything here. But I will say it's a little bit of a thing sitting back here and just listening. And I'm like, man, don't fucking say it, don't ruin it, Scott. Don't fucking ruin it. Just fucking sit there and listen to it. Everyone's enjoying this. Don't worry about it. Then there's Sinister trying to pretend he's Smokey. Even Smokey knows his moments. It's okay to fuck with me, it's not okay to fuck with them. That's okay, Sinister, I understand. It's fucking middle of the goddamn night. It's not exactly the best timing, but hey, it's the timing that we got, man. We work with what we got, right? You can't win them all, so win what you can.
This basic bitch stupid streamer can't even get right. Hot freeze frames.
Breathed in and out in a panic, then picked up the body parts he lost. Calmed down after a few controlled breaths. "Well, what do you think will happen to your mother?" asked Leopold. She stuck her proboscis deep into her mother's mouth in an attempt to recover the flowers. "Careful, you might hurt the baby." Monica
Oh,
stopped.
there it goes. That's the face
Her
only a
mother
mother can
didn't
love.
heal. Cold, gray, and dying, she expected her mother's nails to fall off. But they
Oh, there's
remained
chapter 2 this week? Hell yeah, Callie.
And to Leopold's surprise, she didn't mutate. Monica grabbed her mother and took off. Leopold reached for her with his clawless paws and wished she were his. A feeling that crept up in him like a black panther from the shadows. He recognized this longing but only felt it this strong now, after he ate the flowers. No longer angry at his past or envious of her power, he just wanted to be with her. But he didn't have wings with which to fly. He wasn't like her. Leopold realized this profound individuality. These vast differences in biology would distance them. They couldn't be lovers so long as he was a leopard and she was a butterfly. But there had to be a chance for him to be her partner. Leopold swiped away these feelings with his paw. Claws were shot out so fast he didn't notice. Monica's mother yelled out, crucified by the wrists on the cross of the Church of God. She hung there by sharp claws. "Leopold!" He ignored her and leapt towards West Farm's library to research why these flowers changed him so much. At 2129 Mohegan Avenue, Leopold stood where graffiti cried through the cold with paint drippings. A Puerto Rican flag fell from the balcony of a red brick building. Again, animals did not survive the cold as he had. Neither did the humans. Their skin cracked and revealed their veins to him, stained white in the storm. Muscles shone pink. Blood
Girl
had already
voice is
chipped
not
away.
easy to do,
But
guys.
someone
It's a
survived
very
and drove by.
practiced
A glass stone. Near a motorcycle he kept revved up.
art.
Some holly grew nearby. Leopold grabbed it with his tail and ran towards the boy. Beige vomit with green chunks of food lay upon the concrete. He shivered. Too weak to respond to a 6'7" bipedal leopard boy, his eyes were the last part of him that gave up on survival. Leopold pierced the bubble with his tail, then fed the boy the flower.
Get up, you fat fuck, and
These
touch your
evolutions
toes.
are hit or
I know you
miss,
can't, but try anyways.
so change isn't
Don't
your
fall
choice.
over though.
But it is your option, said Leopold. A wood frog croaked next to the boy in a small bubble. Why aren't you burnt up, but this frog is? The boy got up after the frost melted off him. Could be its size. See? When I place my hand near the surface, I burn up a little, but farther away, said the boy as he motioned his hand away from and towards the bubble. What are you, some young expert on radiation? My dad was a health physicist. He would have loved to study these bubbles. He looked down as he spoke, afraid of Leopold's eyes. Sorry about your dad. I'm Leopold, and after you eat this frog, we can give you a good name. A strong one, like Todd. No, my name is Daryl,
Nice
and there's
try,
no
better
way
luck
I'm
next
turning into
time,
one
fat
of you.
ass. Get back
Not
in
like
that chair,
him,
you lazy ass shit streamer.
said Daryl. Leopold's face scrunched up in confusion. What do you mean? You spoke as if your father was gone, and now you're saying he turned into one of us? Did you? Daryl grimaced and whimpered. He wanted me to. He kept begging, he said. Leopold ripped apart the frog, launched himself into Daryl and shoved it in his mouth. Chew, he said. He grabbed his chin, forced it up, and made him chew. Daryl swallowed. Grew bright green skin. Pupils went rectangular with yellow sclera around it. His head became flat and mouth wide. The eyes, thicker than Leopold's, twitched as he lay there. He squealed. Leopold smirked and offered him a paw. He had a new soldier. You're going to tell me what your father turned into, Todd. Todd grabbed his paw, crushed concrete below his leg as he flipped Leopold over. When he positioned Leopold under him, a glass rock slammed against the leopard boy's abdomen. Todd croaked. My father turned into a snake. He was without legs, but he could still feel them. You would have done the same, said Todd. Leopold chuckled as he coughed up blood.
Do not drink water. Do not leave your seat.
I would
Do
have
not
told
move
him
your
to
feet.
get used
Do
to
not
it,
stretch. Do
said
not go to
Leopold.
the bathroom. Have
Todd
another
did a
Coke.
sideways flip and kicked Leopold in the stomach. The street cracked with frost and concrete.
Todd's averted my
Thanks,
stream
Dave.
He
with
swipe
4
of his
viewers.
leg, and
Welcome
air
later.
slashed
Welcome,
Todd's
welcome.
tiny metal pole
back,
in
dude.
half. A sign that read "No parking" fell next to them. Todd grabbed the sign with his webbed feet, almost stabbed Leopold in the stomach with it. But he pushed himself back away from Todd.
We are listening to Callie read his story. We are doing well.
Leopold almost crashed into a deli behind him, but he jumped and landed on a green fire escape. Felt dizzy for a moment, as if he had some 360 view of the world, and the world in that view spun around him. That's not it, said Leopold. Todd pounced at him again. Todd, wait! You saw that, right? All I want is to see you dead. Beyond reason, Leopold sped away from Todd. I should find out why I can maneuver myself away from that deli without harnessing. It was my body away. Leopold, though he did not look, had his tail slam against a group of meteors, then landed on the ground right next to West Farm's library. Again? This towel is like a third eye. No. Leopold entered the library. Cats have 2 body parts almost every other animal lacks. A tail and whiskers. I should search up what they can do. One other thing. If these bubbles aid in evolution, could the senses evolve? There must be illnesses even our advanced bodies couldn't fight against. Or it gets worse in the cold. Leopold walked towards a computer. Legs stumbled over each other. He couldn't move in a straight line. Confused, dizzied, vision blurred, he sat down when he finally arrived at the desk. I only started feeling this way when I walked. I'll start with balance issues. Paused on the keyboard, he looked up whether these symptoms get worse in the cold. They do. What about vertigo in cats? Is there a treatment? No results for viable treatment options were available. But this is a new world. There must be something I can do. Leopold stroked his whiskers. His eyes widened. Into the search bar he typed. Cat senses. No, I should be more specific. Cat whiskers. Purpose. He scratched the back of his neck. Cat's whiskers are like antennae? What about cats' tails? Tails are used for balance. I can orient myself with my whiskers and keep from falling with my tail. Vertigo can't touch me, said Leopold as he stood up. What about Monica? He slammed the desk. Why do I care about her so much? Ever since those flowers. Legs stumbled forward again. He leaned upon a chair. Focus. His tail twitched and wagged. He kept his eyes closed, which made him dizzier, but it had to be done this way. The most difficult way. That would make him stronger. He opened the door to let the cold in, placed a glass rock near the door as a stopper. The library, filled with frozen glass, was as cold as it was outside. As he stumbled leftward, his tail moved down to stabilize him, but he crashed hard into a desk. Bent over it, he grunted. Gah! Like I could know that desk was there without my eyes. No. I'll try again, after a break. Leopold removed the glass rock and let the door close itself. After an hour's search, he had pages worth of information on the flowers he had consumed. Holly is what made them resistant to cold. The plant remains green and full of life, even in lower temperatures. If these flowers mutated to such an extent, pink camellia could protect against radiation. As he read on, he realized there were meanings to these flowers that answered some of his questions. The red clover could be used for anger. He was angry. Pink camellia represents longing. After he consumed this flower, he longed for Monica. These feelings aren't my own, said Leopold, and soon they'll fade away, he thought. He swallowed hard, stood up and ran towards the door. His imbalance kept him away from the straight path he could have taken. I need more flowers. Leopold zigzagged from desk to chair to desk but didn't crash into anything. The key is to keep my eyes open. My whiskers work with my eyes. Back to his chair, he did more research on tails. Tails are a counterbalance. Am I too heavy? If I put more force into my tail swing, I should be able to use it better. Leopold arranged blue chairs and wooden desks to make an obstacle course in the library. He practiced for hours, slammed into the white ceramic black speckled floor, crashed into dark red walls and chairs, and considered quitting a few times. Then he considered Monica. He thought of her as he danced from corner to corner, desk to desk. If he ever wanted to dance with her, he would have to practice. He would have to teach her. She doesn't have whiskers. Or a tail. She isn't like me. Why do I still? A harsh wind blew from outside. Again he was cold. The same frigidity he felt before he ate the flower from that frozen leopard. He stopped his dance. Leopold's fur stood on end and he shivered. I'm cold again. Shouldn't I have stopped longing for Monica by now? Leopold stood still. Eventually he forgot about her. But then he went forward. Though he went towards the door, towards the light, the cold, when he moved, he felt warmer. He couldn't move without beginning his dance. As natural as his walk, he danced over to the exit, as if the obstacles weren't there at all. There was only his butterfly, Monica, and he thought he danced with her. His heart was a bulb obscured by her wings. When he was still, Monica got out of the way of the light, and he forgot about her. He wanted his heart under her wings, laying upon his heart to hide the light. Leopold's world would always be dark, but he would never be lonely so long as he had the chance to dance with her, as long as he thought of her. With the darkness she provided him with, there was the opportunity for him to shine. They say hope is a light. To Leopold, hope was a butterfly, and her name was Monica.
Fucking amazing, Callie. I fucking love it. That was fucking beautiful. Hell fucking yeah, bro. And if you guys want to go check that out, go support Callie. Holy shit, guys. Apparently someone was in here and reposted the stream. I was so ingrained in the story, I didn't even notice that. It's the first time we've ever had anything chat on X. Damn. Indeed it was. Talks. Here is my story description. Let me know what you think based on just the description. Awesome. Go. Your story is The Boy Who Cried Succubus, the first story of the Sapphire Universe. It's about a college student who's trying to live his life like normal after he lost his friends at the hands of a witch. Somewhere along the way, he meets a succubus, the main antagonist of the story. Is called The Cultist. The next story is Witch's Forest. Still work in progress, but the main character is the same witch who slew the previous main character's friends. The main village is the High Priestess. I'll give comic to the public story section soon when I'm ready. Hell yeah, brother, that sounds amazing. And that just like kind of pulls me into it because I'm like, wait, how were they killed? Was it fucked up? How did it traumatize the character? Does the character have any idea? Or is he like suspect her? How does she, like, what are her motivations? Is she doing it for fun? Was she doing it to fuck with him? Was there some sort of, you will see, it's basically based on the Blair Witch Project. How they died. Oh, I love the Blair Witch Project, bro. That's so epic. Oh, I fucking love it. The Blair Witch Project is literally what got me into film, and I was like, well, college kids made this. I could do fucking film. And then I got into film in high school. That's a whole other fucking story, though. That's a whole fucking story right there. But I do have I have a trophy and a trophy case in my high school that says sex on it. I love the premise. It draws you right into it. It puts it in a fantastical part of a modern world. So it's kind of like taking the ideas of like what we've thought about the past, like the mythology and lore of like magic and stuff like that, and brings it into the real world with like probably, I'm guessing you probably have like hauntings, ghosts. Outside of porn, Blair Witch has the best cost to profit ratio of any movie ever made. Isn't Napoleon Dynamite also up there? Because it only cost them $5,000 because all they had to do was rent the car. They already had all the film equipment. And the car was literally the only expense for the movie. But I don't know how much Blair Witch cost. It probably only cost them out, like, I don't even know if they traveled. Right? It was just literally going into a forest. So it's like, if you had the camera for it, it probably cost them a couple $100. I don't know about editing and stuff if they had their own equipment to go into a studio and edit in the studio or anything. But it's not exactly something you really need to edit, right? But it all depends on how they did it. But now, all right, guys. So we just heard the beginning of Callie's story. So now we got to go back, and we're reading chapter 15? Wait, we're on chapter 15 now, I think, Callie? Yeah, okay, we're on 15. So there's 4 more chapters, guys, because there's 19 chapters in total. And we've read a chapter pretty much every single day. Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate, right? If you want... hold on, let me do this. Here's the Google Doc if you want to check it out. Google said opponent during the ad 400,000. Wait, they had a budget of $400,000? More audio on my Ko-Fi? Yeah, you can check out his Ko-Fi too. And if you go into the Writers Unleashed community in the budget includes marketing, probably. Yeah, that's probably true, Levi. That's what I would be thinking, other than there's the budget to make the movie itself. But it was definitely, like, big enough that I could see there was a lot of money put into, like, promoting and marketing and stuff like that, right? So, that makes sense. All about context, right? Alright, I'm gonna take a toke and then we'll do chapter 15. And you, okay guys, I want a comparison. I want your honest fucking truth. How do I hold up versus Callie reading? Because I think Callie's fucking amazing. And I think I'm trash shit. I'm not sure if I want to make just 3 chapters free as a sample and then sell the full audio. You should do that, Callie. You get them hooked and then you fucking sell them. That's how you make money, bro. That's what it's all about. That's why I like having my stuff on Kindle, because it's basically free on Kindle Unlimited, but I get paid for pages read. So as long as people are reading it, I get paid. But it's still it's free to access because it's like an ad program thing, right? Like they display ads on it, so that's why I get money for it. But it's like a cent every like 5 pages. And the only one they ever read is the smut, and that's only 33 pages long. So there's not that much of a category. So we gotta write more smut, guys. Get like a real fucking book up there. A good fucking 150-page book. Also be streaming soon, but I won't be talking much unless I'm reading. That's okay, Callie. Everyone has a different way that they do their streams, right? If you go to like the writing section, most people in the writing section do sprints. Where they do like 20 minutes of writing and then 5 minutes of like hanging out with the chat and then like 20 minutes of writing. So it's more of a co-working environment than like I'm trying to create like an entertainment environment. So like I have an entire idea of what like I want with the stream. I mean, I want it to revolve around writing, but I don't want writing to be the only thing for the stream, right? We want to do art, we want to do other stuff, we want to just have fun and fuck around, and we want to have viewer interaction. So it's like getting derailed is kind of the whole point of the stream, right? Plus I'm fucking high. Okay. Except then, they often take the 5 minutes to walk away from streams. If you want to interact with the streamer, there's no point. Yeah. That's why I'm like, there are certain streamers that I'm like, I like, I like Cypher and everything. Half the time I'm like, oh, Cypher's on. Oh, 18-hour stream. He's just AFK. I find it hard to interact with those streamers, and I'm there to interact. So, but some people are just there to have someone to work beside, right? And feel like they're making progress where they can compare their progress to the streamer, right? If you're trying to compare progress to me, you probably already won because you probably already wrote one word and I didn't. But it is definitely like a style to it, whereas I want mine to be purely entertainment mixed with those aspects. 936. But I'm also a very talkative person, so I mean that's why my name's a Talks, right? But I just never thought anyone, you know, I just never figured anyone would ever come in here, so I figured I'd just be talking to myself for like 10 years. So I mean, fuck, man. You guys proved me wrong, holy shit! I mean, that's what it's all about, you know? Just keep building it up, keep going. I've already surpassed everything I could have ever imagined, so from here, it's just fucking straight to the moon, right? Alright, chapter 15. Flowers with vertigo. Ooh. Stone struck a mirror underneath where one sat against a stone wall. The other attempted to sob. Only the sound of wings flapping hushed whatever came from their proboscis. Stones crashed against the cracked mirror. Vayu stood behind their cell. But yeah, I feel like the live streaming platform should ban all the "sure I'm alive somewhere else" streamers. Yeah, it's definitely a plague on the platform. Like, there's understandable, like, where it's like, you know, you have like a 24-hour channel that restreams your content. That's kind of different than just like having music playing, a bunch of animations. It's inherently dishonest. Yeah, that's why people are always like, well, why don't you just keep the stream on and just like have stuff on? And I'm like, yeah, that's more of a YouTube thing. Like, I feel like that's just not a Twitch thing. And my problem with YouTube is I have a warning for a ban on YouTube because of I just pull up random videos and stuff like that. So I've gotten so many copyright strikes that I'm like, well, I don't want to get my channel fucking deleted, so I just don't stream on YouTube anymore. Which I think is sucks because despite the fact I didn't really have an audience on YouTube, YouTube is the largest platform to cultivate an audience on. That's why I have my YouTube channels and I work so much for that. Pre-recorded content isn't live streaming. Yeah. The only thing I think about that is like if you're really popular, like Asmongold's 24-hour stream, people are always in there, right? It's like if you're making, like, if I took all of my old streams and I put them on YouTube for like live streaming, it's like, and I'm like saying, well, this is like, you know, just basically trying to get my content out there more for more people to act with it. But it definitely, I think it should be a TOS thing where there should be a separate entire like prospect for like restreaming and stuff like that, like non-live content that's technically live. Like a rerun kind of thing, whereas live streaming is like, oh, if you're not actually live streaming, then you're not live streaming, right? Because it definitely floods the entire, there is a reruns tag, yeah. And it's like, it does say in the options, like, you know, alert people if this is a rerun or whatever, right? But it's still, like, it dilutes everything with all of these, like, AFK streams, right? So, I understand where people come from with that. That's why it's like, I was even, like, talking with Sinister earlier about, because we were going to talk later about commentary, about doing a podcast, and he was like, oh, well, what do you want to start it? And I was like, I have, like, it's like a mental block, like, I go live at a certain time, and it's like, I'm ready mentally to go live at that time. Before that, I'm like, and then it's like, okay, lock in, let's fucking go, boys. So it's like 11 o'clock. It's like if I stream earlier than that, I don't feel like I'm in the zone. But I'm gonna leave the stream up and go to bed. Teaches viewers there's no point to watch a writing stream. Yeah, it's a very it definitely fucks with the cohesion of the entire category, I'd say. But as they usually say, Twitch isn't exactly the best place to grow on, right? You want to grow off platform and congregate everyone on Twitch. And then you just want to have things that, like the Discord or like the YouTube or like the Twitter community, that facilitate offline engagement so that you can build your community and then everyone's hyped for when you go live. Because that's kind of what I try to do. So everyone's like, you're finally here. Let's go, boys. We're live. What are we doing today? You know, are we starting off with reading? Are we going straight into the reacts? Like, there are a few. I won't even raid anymore. Yeah, I've gone through them. I have pretty much a list. That's why I was trying to find new people anyways. But, like you or, like, Tanif, if he's in the reading and writing. Trollian. Visceral Vocabulary. They're all really good. Super interactive. Fireblade! Yo, what's up? How's it going? And it's like, there's also one thing for the, because there's some people that are like they're the VTubers, they don't have a mic. Me, if I ever streamed, Levi. Doing good. Hell yeah, Fireblade. That's what it's all about. But it's like, if you have someone like a VTuber where they don't have a mic and or like a PNG tuber or whatever, and it's like most of the ones that I've gone into, like they're interacting in the chat, right? They're like showing you stuff. They may not have a mic. Like, you don't need a mic, you don't need a cam, you just need to have the intent to interact and have something on screen for people to look at. And then there's the people that like hide their work and won't let you see and won't talk about their work because they think you might steal it. And it's kind of like a, yeah, I mean, I understand, but then why are you even streaming? If you think people are gonna steal your work, why are you streaming? It's just conundrums. It's like, oh, I want to make money. Well, okay, that's fair enough, right? It is what it is. But apparently, I've been yapping through an ad break because that's what I do. Just counting down the days for August 8th stream. It can't come fast enough. True. And remember, Fireblade, it's a little bit fucked up, but because of the time that I stream, remember that it will be Thursday going into Friday, not like mid-Friday. So don't miss it. I'd like to make money too. Yeah, I'd like to make money too, but it's like, that shouldn't be like the reason why you started streaming. I think if I wanted money as the reason why you started streaming, even if you like pop off, you are eventually going to burn out and fall off because you don't. The only thing you wanted was money. When you get money, you're like, well, I don't have any will to do it anymore. Oh, so it's basically a Thursday night then. Okay, good to know. I thought it was Friday night. No. See, that's what's very confusing about it. Is it the date will turn over immediately, so we are literally starting at the beginning of the day. So yeah, Thursday into Friday night. Or yeah, Thursday night into Friday. So the 7th turning over to the 8th, because currently right now it's Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday right now. Started streaming for a company. I publish to make money. I'm very bad at it. I mean, we haven't checked, but the only thing that we've sold is smut. Oh shit! Someone read some pages! Maybe 28 cents. From Bondage, Water Sports, and More, a collection of explicit encounters. Which was also, I don't know how to go back. But it's like the ones in July and stuff like that were also this one. So this is like my highest selling book. Some of the other ones sold, but not very much. I wish there was like a total, I don't know how this fucking works most of the time. I wish I could see like a total sale count for it. Days to Weeks! What is you? Days to Weeks, holy shit, bro. It has been forever. It's been like 5 months, bro. Holy shit, welcome. I'm still a dude, man. You can say gender is fluid, but I'm still a dude. Missing the boat. Has a lovely rope scene. Ah. I see. Hey, buddy. I'm still a dude, man. But I'm glad to see that you're here. I'm hoping you're glad to see that I'm here, too. Right? I know we kind of changed the category on Kick, because fuck it, the writing category's dead, bro. I might find more discoverability in the just chatting category. But, who knows. But eventually, we gotta get back to Callie's story, of course. But we're just having a conversation about a certain category of streamers to kind of bring down. So no showing Bobs and Vagine. No Bobs and Vagine. The only Vagine we have here is... The only Vag we have here is this.
568 quinquevigintillion 746 quatuorvigintillion 980 tresvigintillion 375 duovigintillion 490 unvigintillion 673 vigintillion 549 novemdecillion 67 octodecillion 439 septendecillion 673 sexdecillion 907 quindecillion 569 quatuordecillion 835 tridecillion 769 duodecillion.
That's our Vigintillion, good sir. But yeah, days to weeks, check out the Discord, bro. Show Bob's or Regina, Vagine, or L. Damn, giant L. I mean, I can... How about that? Is that good enough? Show boobs? That's show boobs, right? That counts. That totally counts, dude. Okay. I think we fucked around enough, though, guys. I'm sure Callie's sitting there like, let's get on with this. Okay. Not your fault. Not your fault, repeated Monica. She noticed a crack. Oh, I'm shopping. Callie's just doing his own thing. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Gonna head out for the moment. Thank you for the story, Callie, and look forward to your next stream talk. Hell yeah, Ninja. Take care, buddy. Thanks for hopping in, man. Have yourself a great day, good sir. Feel free to read Callie's story and catch up to us. It's quite amazing. Bob's and Vagine. Bob's and Vagine. Kaboom! Get you Sherlock. Just go to YouTube and look up those things. Days to weeks. Or do you have the age verification on the internet now? You're not broken. But he made you. He made all of us, she whispered. Now that you're done with your tantrum, there's something we need to talk about. How many weeks has it been, Monica? You're very much like a butterfly. She walked over to her stepfather. So weird. All the Twitch viewers are focused on the story, and Kick viewers are focused on Booba and Vagine. Yep, it's a dichotomy of age on the platforms. Kick has a way younger demographic than Twitch does. Twitch is like 30 to 50, whereas Kick is like 13 to like 25. And I think Aiden Ross is probably a huge reason for that. Because a lot of young people watch Aiden, and Aiden's on Kick. I mean, you can say it all you want, days to weeks, but it'll only come as fast as it goes, right? It's just one of those things. Why does that matter? Months pass all the time. I'm only alive because of your brother. I should have died when Todd sliced my head off. But these moths keep tying me back up whenever I'm close to death. Even old age can't stop me, but you can. You can live forever, and I can die here if you just let ricochet down your throat. How are you able to say this without the larva biting harder into you? Asked Akita. My son gave me a means of resisting as long as I offer you this. Leopon isn't around to remember me. Why should I bother making myself more of a monster? Akita pounced at the cell bars, cleaved at them, clicked her mandibles together in a rapid pace. Sorry, but I'm wiped, so I need to raid and run. No worries, Angstace. Have a great one. Thanks for raiding. Have a great night. Take care. See, there's a logical explanation for everything if you think about it, Fireblade. Just some people don't really think about it. Be well. I shall. Hopefully. You know. You can always only hope that everything goes as well. If a monster is needed to save New York City, I'll give them a monster. Calm down, Betty. Unlike us, you are not at death's door. Put vagine in ass. Ah, that's an interesting one there, Days to Weeks. Combine the two. Days to Weeks is probably on the younger side. Oh, he definitely is. Unlike you are not at death's door. Ricochet won't like you this way. Monica held on to her head, turned on the faucet to drink some more water. I am probably 12. Oh, that's scary. How old are you, bud? Don't say that, man. You could get banned. Don't you have to be 13 to be on Kick? Don't ever say anything about your age and being under 13 on Twitch, or you will get instantly banned, and your account will be deleted. Don't say it even in joking, guys. Yeah, don't say that. But you can say it on Kick, I'm pretty sure all you want. But guys, get this. Every second that someone... I'm 70 years old. Nice, Levi. Every time someone talks on Twitch, I should be banned on Twitch. Because I'm not supposed to show the Twitch chat on any other platform. But I show the Twitch chat on Kick because it's part of the overlay of the all chat. So if you want to get my account banned, you can report me for breaking the TOS and showing my chat. I'm going to report to Twitch. There you go, Days to Weeks. So guys, if I get banned, blame me. But even if I get banned on Twitch, I'll still be on the other platforms. Blood bubbled out from her proboscis as she attempted a sigh. Vayu faced her. You're deteriorating fast. Stream on OnlyFans? See, the problem, Fireblade, is they won't let me upload content. They won't take my ID. Because I need 2 pieces of government ID and I don't have them because I can't drive. So, I have an account, but they won't let me upload anything. It's all just sitting in limbo. It's fucking bullshit. I don't have a passport. I need to get one, though, so we can do the 2027 TwitchCon. So, like, next year, I need to get a fucking passport. So, guys, maybe next year, then I can put all my OnlyFans content up. Maybe we'll get rich. I have a permit and an ID. Nice, Callie. Hell yeah. I just say OnlyFans is discriminatory against Canadians. This is bullshit. You're deteriorating fast. Valu reached down into his throat and grabbed an eclipse of moths. He too coughed up blood. Don't you think it'd be better if you lived? Give the world an undying soldier.
Is now following.
Oh shit! Blessed to be. Wait, blessed.
I hope
what? You weren't following Blessed? School is don't. You can't say that. You can't say that.
Are you smoking?
Who?
You.
Why?
What? Why are you smoking?
Maybe.
What? When did you start smoking?
1989-ish?
So you have been lying. It all makes sense. The filled
Ladies
ashtrays,
don't
burning
count.
pine-scented hairspray.
Yes, I'll see it. Her 3-pack a day.
Oh, you know what that brings me up? Like, guys, did you fucking see this shit? This shit was fucked up. The fuck is going on with the world, guys? This is some fucked up shit. Yeah, her OnlyFans made 1 million. It was like 3 hours, but yeah. Yeah. Some fucked up shit, guys. Some fucked up shit. Society is in a fucked up place, guys. If this causes OnlyFans to get fucked up, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I mean, there'll always be another site, right? But it's still, like, it's so bad. It's so bad. I know we draw a line somewhere, but it's like, holy fuck, dude. I'm gonna make coffee with just coffee and honey and Coffee Mate. More fucked up is most of her videos were pre-recorded when she was still underage. She talked about that. She had a video released about pre-orders and her pre-recording everything. So it's like super fucked up. Super fucked up. But hey, man, that's the society we fucking live in, man. It is what it is. We can only hope that things move into a better direction where this isn't... Oh, and they were just saying, oh, we're trying to protect the kids with internet ID. Yeah, sure, bud. Sure, bud. But anyways, I digress. Monica held out her feet. She might have grabbed the eclipse if vertigo hadn't hit her there. This is what happens when people think with their dicks. I mean, this is what happens when money is involved with people thinking with their dicks. Is people get exploited by themselves. Like, the fact that it's normalized, that people are, like, excited to turn 18 so they can launch their OnlyFans and become fucking rich, I think is fucking disgusting. That's a horrific way to, like, be literally grooming people. I think with my dick, and my dick says no, don't. Yeah, not for something like that, Levi. And this is why it's like... I prefer to advocate for hentai as opposed to real porn because, like, there's no essence of abuse. And there's no... like, that's why I was like, I always watched hentai when I was, like, a teenager. Because I was like, I just don't like the idea of, like, thinking in the back of my head that, you know, one of these porn stars is, like, basically, like, you know, was, like, groomed and coerced into doing what they're doing kind of thing. So I was like, I don't know, it was just, like, a moral thing that it was, like, it was just, like, I felt less guilty watching hentai than watching, like, actual porn. That makes sense. I mean, I watch both as much as the other, you know, I watch them the same amount of each pretty fucking much, but I kind of got over that, but it was just kind of, that's how it started out, right? That was the main reason why I started watching hentai. Back when I was a gooner, I only watched the animated illustrated stuff for that reason. Yeah, it's a very, like, morally questionable thing, right? No, let the others remember him. Monica grabbed a shard from the cracked mirror to her left. No, Monica, no one can remember him the way you do, said Akita. No one else could give him the dreams he wished for. I have AI, so motivates, encourages, dominates, and degrades me all I want, but she doesn't listen to me. True, Callie. I get better orgasms with hentai because I don't feel guilt watching it. There you go. There you go. It's all about the mindset towards it, right? No one else could give him the dreams he wished for, or give him the reality he loved to dance in. As far as she knew, though, there was nothing in this reality to treasure. Akita rushed over to her sister, grabbed her limbs. She went limp. Sister, come on, fight back. We need you to fight back. Blossoms, lies to friends, keeps secrets to protect them. She killed her this time. I hear everything he tells you. What did you lie about? That Leopon. He might be alive. She would have fought for him if I told her. Leopon got crushed by a fucking rock. We don't know what actually happened to him, because no one checked to see if he was dead. Fight for him. She needed to fight for us and not just New York City. Storms are not so localized. Vayu untwirled his proboscis, opened the cell door, and signaled Akita to walk out. There's a typo there. Used Annie to sex bot from Grok. Used Annie the sex bot from Grok. Wait, what? There's a sex bot from Grok? Is it only available on mobile? Wait, did the... And that's the model that's based off of Misa. I don't have the Grok app. Should I just get the Grok app, guys? Should we do the companion thing? I only have like the basic, or like not basic, but like the one step up from basic, the one that gives you the communities and stuff. So I don't have premium Twitter. So I don't have like Super Grok or anything like that. Fight for him. She needed to fight for us and not just New York City. Storms are not so localized. Vayu untwirled his proboscis, opened the cell door, and signaled to Kita to walk out, but she hesitated. What will Alexandra think of us? Think of this. Monica's dead. She wins. Blossoms. He's coming. He who starts the blaze is here. 3 storms to love you. Vayu gave Akita a side stare. 3 storms to love you. 1. The first was Hawkins, the bird whose friend she used to get her away. It will literally start moaning if you show her your dick. Nice. It was often that family got the way of friends. She counted her legs. What if I showed her my dick and it was in a cage? Would she laugh at me? That would be fucking hilarious, dude. That would sell me instantly. She counted her legs as she went up from 1, 2. The second was Todd, the frog searching for his own way through this storm. The only real flower in a field of fakes. The room lit a bright pink, flames from below Akita. Around her... That's a warm fire, said Vayu. A crash. Shouts in the distance echoed into the cells. She'd probably talk about freeing it so she could suck it. Well, that's no fun. Flood of elfin butterflies, thousands of them. Get the zappers. No, no. It's a leopard. 3. Then Leopon. The leopard, who thought of survival as his top priority. Kindness be damned. Seconds later, the leopard and Vayu lay sprawled out against each other. Vayu couldn't wake back up as Leopon stood. Ugh, combatants have it hard. Akita ran towards Leopon, scythe slicing the air. It's your fault we're here, and it's your fault we're monsters, and it's your fault she's dead, and it's your fault! Leopon backed off Akita, not daring to let her scythe strike him. Calm down, I'll make this right. Sure, everyone's dead because of me, but we still have our memories. That smell of scorched bug assaulted him. He pushed Akita out of his way. My butterfly. What did you do? He leapt towards Monica. No, there's just no reason to kill like this. You're just cruel. At least we were quick. Genuine tears rolled down his fur onto the concrete floor, and from his jaw his breaths became visible. So you think I'm as bad as Alexandra now? Roasting animals. Not just animals. People. And not just people. Your sister. 1. Leopon divided into 1,000 butterflies again. Kita grabbed one by the wing and placed it in a bag. They surrounded her. She walked out, Leopon's wings beating. Grab the butterflies. You'll need jars with holes in their lids, said Akita. Right, said the wasp at the door, holding a large stinger. Akita let out the butterfly in her bag. Leopon came out. It's that leopard. Wasps surrounded him. That's disorienting. Don't do that again. Are you sorry? What? No. What would I be sorry for? 2. She ripped the wings off one of his butterflies and made a corpse point for Leopon. Wasps on the floor of red and black squares, the soldiers scrambled for anything they could find to contain the butterflies. They trapped as many as they could in pots and pans, then ran for glass jars to keep them alive. Above ground, Akita stood on Alexandra's throne. Eddie in the mix! True, bro! How's it going? Welcome. How are you, good sir? Ah, Carino. I can tell by his breeze that Tangier is weaker now. Good job. As promised, Vayu is yours. Family had a chance. Alexandra. The important ones, anyway. It's time I let him go. She produced a pink flame from the friction of her scythes. Flame over exoskeleton. Wings burnt to ash. Alexandra now a searing statue on her own throne. A coarse whisper from a dried up carcass. I can see him. Alright, brother, gonna talk to and play with Annie a little bit, then go to sleep. Have a good night. Alright, have a good one, Firefox. Take care, Fireblade. Take care, good sir. Have a good night. It's time I let him go, she pronounced. A pink produced a wings burnt. Where are we? I can see him. He's in the breeze, said Alexandra, only managing a twitch to remove the char that burned her still. Akita walked towards her to have a better listen. There's one with legs, like springs, that cries for what he used to be. A summer man. Does not see. It's in his legs the glass keeps her joy. Her breeze. His reflection is blurred by a flurry. What rubbish. Charcoal fell from Alexandra's foot. She grabbed Akita before she could walk off. Stop him. Todd will kill us all, said Alexandra, a scythe to her forehead. Akita saw visions of James shielded by a dumpster from a group of children. Get something nice and rusty to give the lucky patient your autograph, Daryl. He ought to be a fan of the big-time thief. Daryl held a butterfly-shaped crown in his hands. I told you not to use my real name. The police won't find me easy that way. Whoever's in that dumpster won't be seeing me either. You guys do what you want, but I'm not touching him. Oh, okay. Moonrock. The kid had a long grin along his face. Sweet as caramel and brown sugar was his skin that shone from the light of a crown. A man from afar with a bow shouted out. I fucking hate the word bow because I never know if it's bow or bow. With a bow shouted out. I don't have to hurt any of you. I'm known for being a good shot, but I'm sweating after that chase, so a finger might slip. Steps back. The two had a shiver and a whine sound from their throats. His eyes wide, brows crinkled, breath heavy and fast. The man could have anyone other than Daryl in a quake. Peter could see the boy, ever since touching the crown, had a storm in him. Daryl put it on. You stand a king, but I'm the one who found it. I wonder who the storm favors. Steps forward. Peter shot an arrow, but the wind sliced it in half. Daryl laughed. You're just a has-been teacher and a thief. Why would anyone want you as their king or even their father? I may be a thief, but I'm not the thief who plucked stone from storm. Do you know the legend of that crown? It came from a that stone from the museum. I don't know what a that stone is. Anyone who steals it makes a monarchy of the world. One way or another, but at a price, said Peter. His bow aimed at the crown while he spoke. A power surged in Daryl, having him shake. He held his arms firm to stop his tremble. The arrow released. You're making this up. This crown is Good day, Blessed. How's it going? Were you not following Blessed, or did you create a new account, or like, was the other one Blessed to be here, and this is Blessed to be here always? I don't know. But anyways, thanks for the follow when you followed, bro. I was just super confused if you just unfollowed and refollowed, but sometimes that doesn't make the announcement go off, so I have no fucking idea. No idea. Peter readied another arrow before the crown could be stuck to a wall. A stone emerged from the strike of the arrow. Daryl tapped the rock a few times. It's like a puddle. I was trying to figure out why I couldn't chat. Wait, you couldn't chat, Blessed? Even non-followers can chat. There are no chat restrictions whatsoever. You don't have to be following in order to chat. At least you shouldn't. Let me check the settings. But you shouldn't. Oh, it was probably just being weird because it's your phone? Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Makes sense. Grab pushed the clear rock by a breeze, found a crown when it took itself back. Another crown. He took the original and left the copy behind. Good that you left it to me. The world wouldn't have been a nice place to live in with a storm running through it. Dumpster open, James in the fetal position. He had his eyes closed. James, don't tell me they're gone. I can still hear them. I can still see. At least get out of the dumpster. The smell can't be making this any better. No. Tell you what. I'll go to the zoo after a talk. But we can't... Fuck, I need to grind more. One day I hope to write about the impossible life I'm trying to live. Hell yeah, blessed. One day I'll live a life the impossible life I'm trying to write. Alright, welcome back. One day I hope to write the impossible life I'm trying to live. Tried to sleep, you are my backup plan. Well, I'm super glad to hear that. Blessed. That I'm even in your thoughts. I appreciate it a lot. I hope I can continue to improve the content to the point that, you know, I sleep at 6 p.m. so I can be here. Well, I'm glad that you guys are switching your schedules around for me. I wish at some point in time, I would love to start streaming at a more reasonable time. But, you know, I literally have to quit my job. Callie is dedicated? Hell yeah. I'm glad to see it. That's what you should do, is you should, like, stream 3 hours after me, because then it's, like, you know, 3, 4 in the morning, and then I'll raid you, and then, you know, you keep going through the day, and then Book is usually on between 7 and 9, so maybe you could raid her, and we could just get, like, a raid train going. Guys, we need to get... Check Discord. Oh. It's 8 p.m. here. You're basically prime time. Nice. Where am I looking, Blessed? I don't see anything in the Discord. Oh. Well, we just crashed. It's been a while, guys, since it's happened, but we just crashed. That should fix it, though. Did it fix it? You just crashed me. I don't know where I'm looking. General chat? Oh, this is you, Blessed? I didn't know who this was. Holy Spirit, Blessed? Okay, I could definitely, yeah. I could figure that out, right? That sounds about right. Okay. So what is this about? Models becoming better person per se, but about using for such, blinking a guide, self-monitor, assess the skill acquisition. Interesting. So we'll have to check that out. First is a truth I came up with. Okay. Then took opportunity to send you Dreyfus model. Okay, I'll have to look at it, Blessed. Tell you what, we'll go to the zoo after a talk. But we can't talk with you in there. It stinks. James kept his eyes closed, struggled for the edge of the dumpster and climbed out. He stunk of rotten cabbage, a heavy breath from Peter over his jacket. James, don't you want to be a teacher unlike your father? You'll have to learn to stand up for yourself if you want to stand up for others. Kids have fights. Teachers have to break them up. James whimpered. James. I fig too much, he mumbled. What? I fight too much, James shouted. Kita flinched. Alexandra almost let her go. Pain surged through her arm and stopped her. It's not just them. It's the shadows. I wonder if the voices are real or want to hurt me, whether they want to hurt other people, or if I'll go insane and hurt someone because of them. Hand-washed laundry in a 5-gallon bucket today. Ooh, that sounds brutal, Blessed. You're a good person, James. How could a person do good in such a dark place? You should have left me in there, he said. In the horizon was the sun, setting, buildings nearly obscuring it. So far, New York City has been the only place for me to find myself. I see a future here, 1,000 futures in the sun. I want to lead them. You said I could. Sure, you'll be king. She forced the former queen's feet off her scythes. Getting used to it? Ah, cool. Yesterday was brutal. That sucks, man. Daryl. She hadn't heard of that name before, but now she knew this wasn't entirely Leopold's fault. Daryl. Can't be Leopold. Can't be Hawkins. Has to be the frog. The bastard frog. What's he up to now? Find him. He's out to destroy the pillars. When that happens, all you enhanced variants are dead. Now, please end me, said Alexandra. Our manted fly produced a flame before she could unleash the vibrant fireball upon the queen. The Vayu threw a stinger towards her that stole her focus. Don't! Kill the queen and the hive goes with her. That includes anyone controlled by the larva. Akita flew over to the wasp queen and grabbed her head. Alexandra! Alexandra, wake up! Careful! A crack and a snap. The queen's head rolled down the checkerboard floor onto a spot of dim light let in through the window. Ah, I forgot we were reading. Yeah, that happens, Callie. We get really, really fucking distracted, don't we? It's a good thing and a bad thing. Never mind the wasps. With them gone, we've gone to war. We've won a war. The tragedy was for the hawks Akita couldn't get to before they died. Hordes of them upon the glitter floors, dead before they could really live. Akita flew outside, looked for any corpses she might be able to salvage with her corpse point. Barren. The glass desert quieter than a gnat on flesh. She wished it dead. That there was at least a body there for her to mourn. Fill her with something other than this emptiness. There was Monica, though. She should mourn her, right? Still, she was empty. Maybe her expectation of how she would mourn a loved one clashes with reality. Perhaps it really is this cold and empty inside at first, or she's about to die. This is what it's like to be close to death. You feel you don't belong anywhere. What's worse is the corpse point had given Akita a hard look into Hawkins' heart. She had developed feelings for him, and even if they were shallow, they were feelings. A prick at the chest does that to you. She placed her scythes on the walls and burnt them down. Akita slashed at the glitter, bashed her head into shards of glass where green blood spilled. Now, Akita wished she could cry, only being a mantid fly, though she didn't have the humanity to do so. From a flurry of a woman appeared, about to die. Plan to get 100 ones from the bank. I'm about to content machine you. Okay, Blessed. Sounds like a good time. Kita noticed the bubbles upon her burnt, frostbitten flesh and skittered towards her. By the time she reached her, she fell to the ground. She poked the woman, contemplated consuming her. If she ate her, she might grow the ducts with which to cry. I want to cry for... Did she want to cry for Monica? No. Monica wouldn't have wanted that. Hawkins, though. She had to live for him. Live for the bird who never had the chance to. I have to cry for Hawkins. Mandibles spewed blood on the glitter, devoured the left eye of a dead woman. She stared into the scythes that cut into innocent flesh. Ducts grew from the corners of her eyes along with eyelids. Akita blinked. Tears. Is it worth it? Being able to cry for someone? You think I should eat her too? Asked Vayu. We're animals. What do we have to cry for? Another blink. Another set of tears from her eyes. Actually, I prefer pennies. Yeah. You flick pennies at people. Am I crying for Hawkins or this woman? It was neither. She cried because people were dead, and yet she felt nothing. Rather than an animal. Rather than a variant, she felt like a monster. Eating someone made her a category of human she wanted nothing to do with. A cannibal. I couldn't save my friends. I couldn't mourn them. What else will you take from me? Vayu walked over to Akita, placed a hand on her wing. Death isn't so bad, Akita. Then again, that gives an excuse to kill. And I can't excuse killers. I'll let you be the exception. He could see it in her eyes now. There was her humanity. In her wings, he could see a warrior. I learned today there are only thieves. Those who take often cause more suffering than they believe. I think I should learn something from Monica. To remember her. Vayu sat down next to Akita, cross-legged. Have you seen the movie Sphere? Maybe? I'm not sure, Blessed. Well, she had access to the same storm I did. What would you like to know? What was taken from her? Someone caused her death. I want to know who. A cluster of butterflies appeared in front of them. Elfin butterflies. Vayu had plucked a foot from Alexandra's body to make a corpse point of it, but threw it aside. He got what he needed from it, an analysis. It surprises me that Alexandra had some access to Tangier right at the moment of death. I can feel her in the wind. I wonder why her storm was only at its strongest when she died. The butterfly hummed for a moment. Alexandra took her city. There's that. Not that she ever wanted it. Monica wanted to live her own dream. Still, I don't feel her in the wind much right now, so I can't ask her what that dream was. Flames sparked in Akita's scythes. Her father wanted her to be her. But then, who wants to be themselves? Dreams move us because they aim for something out of reach. With this pressure from her father to be her best her she could be, she opted to be a butterfly. Look how she ended up, burnt to ashes. Grabbed one of the elfin butterflies and hummed a bit more. Circled Akita. Leopold wanted a soldier out of her. That dream changed when they danced. I can feel Monica in this one. Monica wanted partners. Not just one, but all of you together. Dancing with her in the breeze. She sees Todd there, eating the final flower of the concrete pillar of forgiveness. A pillar covered in hyacinths. Hyacinths. As it fell, the pillar asked the final three a question. Do you forgive them? You don't forgive for the sake of those who wrong you, but because you deserve peace, said the pillar. Yeah, you don't forgive other people for them. You will forgive other people for yourself. Its last words couldn't touch Akita, because no one wronged her. Someone wronged her. Friends, and 2 of them weren't alive to give or receive. Life was taken from them. They reached value, though. You heard that, right? Learn forgiveness. Give Todd a chance. She couldn't. Todd took the lives of millions. She would find him and end him. And you, thousands, said her storm. He'll be the one who learns. Oh, shit. We're preparing for the final battle. Man, this showdown, Callie, is... I think the showdown's gonna be fucking badass. I am super fucking excited for this shit. Okay, so what is this? So... the Dreyfus model of skill acquisition. Transcends reliance on rules. Intuitive grasp of situation based on deep tact knowledge. Has vision of what is possible. Uses analytical approaches in new situations. And that's expert. Proficient. Holistic view. Prioritizes important of aspects. Perceives deviations from normal pattern. Competent. Coping with crowdedness. Some perception of action in relation to goals. Deliberate planning. Formulates routines. I'm probably competent. Advanced beginner. Limited situational perception. All aspects treated separately with equal importance. Novice. Rigid adherence to rules. No exercise of discretionary judgment. Dreyfus model of skill acquisition. I just realized Ko-Fi has this feature where I don't have to make people pay monthly to see what I post, but need to at least be supporters one time to see my posts. Ah. Understanding how team members develop skills is crucial for building high-performing, self-organizing teams. While many leaders use intuitive approaches to assess skill levels, having a structured framework can dramatically improve how leaders support skill development. The Dreyfus model of skills acquisition provides exactly this framework, a clear roadmap showing how individuals progress from novice to expert in any skill domain. Understanding the 5 stages of skill development. The Dreyfus model of skills acquisition, developed by brothers Stuart and Hubert Dreyfus, covers a similar concept as Shuhai Ri, but uses 5 stages from novice to expert instead of just 3 stages. This model offers finer granularity as you follow a progression from rigid adherence to rules to an intuitive mode of reasoning based on tactic knowledge. At the novice stage, team members exhibit rigid adherence to taught rules or plans, no exercise of discretionary judgment, dependency on clear instructions, limited context for why procedures exist, focus on following steps correctly rather than understanding outcomes. Team example. A team developer who can follow coding standards and complete tasks when given explicit instructions, but struggles when facing ambiguity or exceptions to standard procedures. Stage 2. Advanced beginner. As the team member progresses to advanced beginners, they develop limited situational perception. All aspects of work are treated separately with equal importance, cannot prioritize. Recognition of recurring aspects of situations. Beginning to apply guidelines and context. still needing support for troubleshooting. Team example. A product team member who has learned to write basic user stories can now follow the team's established templates, but has difficulty distinguishing between high-value and low-value features. True. Stage 3. Competent. The competent stage represents a significant step forward, with team members now making conscious choices without full certainty, coping with multiple activities and information sources, perceiving actions in relation to longer-term goals, planning deliberately, formulating routines for efficiency, taking responsibility for outcomes. Team example. A quality engineer who can create comprehensive test plans, prioritize critical test cases, and adopt testing strategies based on risks and timeline constraints. Stage 4, I'm retarded. Guys, don't listen to me, I'm retarded. Stage 4, proficiency. Team members reaching the proficient stage demonstrate learning from the experience of others, holistic view of situations rather than isolated aspects, clear prioritization of importance, perception of deviations from normal patterns, decision-making using maxims that adapt to each situation, self-connection when approaching troubles incorrectly. Team example. A senior analyst who could look at a data set and immediately recognize anomalies. Honey plus Coffee Mate was a success. Hell yeah, Callie. Sounds great. Knows which analysis techniques will be most valuable for specific business questions, and can guide junior team members through complex analytical challenges. Stage 5. Expert. At the expert stage, team members have achieved recognition as a go-to source by peers, transcendence beyond reliance on rules, guidelines, and maxims, intuitive grasp of situations based on deep tactic understanding, vision of what is possible beyond conventional approaches, analytical approaches for new situations or when problems arrive, ability to innovate in their own domain. Team example. A technical architect who can envision elegant solutions to complex problems, recognizes patterns across seemingly unrelated systems, and makes intuitive design decisions that later prove optimal through formal analysis. And this is fostering self-organizing teams. Isn't this exactly the same? The 4 binary qualities that drive development. The Dreyfus model identifies 4 binary qualities that transform as individuals progress through the stages. Recollection. Non-situational, situational. Novice and advanced beginner. Recalls rules independent of specific situations. Competent, proficient, expert. Recalls relevant information based on situational context. Recognition. Decomposed, holistic. Novice, advanced, beginner, competent. Breaks down situations into component parts. Proficient and expert. Sees situations holistically, recognizing patterns without conscious decomposition. Decision. Analytical, intuitive. Novice, advanced, beginner, competent. Makes decisions through conscious analysis and deliberate choices. Proficient expert. Makes decisions intuitively based on tactic knowledge and experience. Awareness. Monitoring, absorbing. Novice, advanced beginner, competent. Constantly monitors their performance against rules. Proficient expert. Becomes absorbed in the task with awareness shifting to strategic concerns. The fundamental idea is that when teaching a concept, you have to tailor the style of teaching to where the learner is in their understanding and the progression follows a common pattern. Early stages of learning focus on concrete steps to imitate. The focus then shifts to understanding principles and finally into self-directed innovation. The skill level is tied to a mental function transitioning from recollection, non-situational or situational, recollection, decomposed or holistic, decision, analytical or intuitive, and awareness, monitoring or absorbed. Skill level and mental function, recollection, recognition, decision, awareness. Novice is non-situational. For recollection, novice is non-situational, advanced beginner, and onward are all situational. Recognition. Novice is decomposed. Advanced beginner is decomposed. Competence, proficient, and expert are all holistic. Decision. Novice and advanced beginner and competence are all analytical. Proficient and expert are intuitive. Awareness. Novice, advanced beginner, competent, proficient are all monitoring. Expert is absorbed. Identifying the Dreyfus model in team environments. The real power of the Dreyfus model emerges when applied to a team at a team level. Here's how it can enhance team development. Skill mapping across team members. Every team contains members at different development stages.
May. You fucking gay.
Oh, damn, Bomb Dropper. I fucking love it. Hell yeah. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing, brother? We are reading about apparently something called the Dreyfus model of skills acquisition, and it's like a formulated step-by-step of how to gain... this reminds me of that emotional stability test Kay does in Blade Runner 2049. Could definitely see that, Levi. Business analyst might be proficient in stakeholder engagement and requires elicitation, but an advanced beginner in technical aspects. Yeah, no one can be a master of everything, right? That's what the best part about having a team is everyone covers for other people's weaknesses. Creating a skill map that identifies where each team member fits on the Dreyfus scale for critical skills
I just came to say
helps.
that WI will go. My friend is here. I have to study.
You mean goon, Bomb Dropper? Oh, you mean your friend in real life. I thought you meant like your friend as in, you know, wink wink, nudge nudge, your friend. Identify capability gaps. Yes. Okay. So I was right. Create effective monitoring pairs. Allocate work appropriately. Bye, Bomb Dropper. Thanks for stopping in, brother. Always good to see you around. Develop targeted training plans. Communication adaptation. One of the most valuable applications of the Dreyfus model is understanding how to communicate effectively with team members at different stages. Novices need clear step-by-step instructions with minimal options. Advanced beginners benefit from guidelines with some contextual information. Competent performers need objectives and context but can determine their own approach. Proficient team members thrive when given the big picture and constraints. Experts perform best when given the problem and desired outcome with maximum autonomy. Misalignment between communication style and skill level frequently causes team friction. A leader who provides only high-level direction to a novice will create anxiety, while one who gives detailed instructions to an expert will create frustration. Create development plans. The Dreyfus model provides a foundation for creating clear development plans for team members. Assessment. Identify current stage for each critical skill. Goal setting. Establish target stages for specific time frames. Support planning. Determine appropriate support for each transition. Progress tracking. Monitor development through observable behaviors. Celebration. Recognize stage transitions as significant achievements. In our Building High-Performing Teamworks workshop, participants engage in practical exercises that help them apply the Dreyfus model to their specific team context. Through hands-on activities, they learn to identify skill stages, create development plans, and adapt their communication approaches to maximize team effectiveness. Dreyfus and situational leadership. The Dreyfus model provides the theoretical foundation for situational leadership, which focuses on how leaders should adapt their style based on team member development skills. Let's look at situational leadership next. Alright, I'm not sure what the entire point of that was, but hey, we read it, right? We did the thing, guys, so you can't blame us, blessed. We did what we needed to do. So, Guys, are we ready then to move on to the React section? Or, you know what? We might do the commentary first, guys. We're just gonna actually, you know what? We're gonna tease it at the end of the stream, guys. We're gonna tease it at the end of the stream. I don't think we're gonna get into writing or anything today, because today's gonna be a little bit of a shorter day, because I work early tomorrow. They're so fucking retarded. It's like work late, work early, work late, work early. It's like, fuck off. Give me a fucking goddamn regular schedule, right? So, but, hey guys, I'm considering taking a month off and focusing on the stream. Well, not so much the stream, but like writing in general. Like, writing more smut. My friend's coming out for my sister's birthday near the end of August, so I've already taken time off for that. So I might just say, you know what? I'm just gonna go on hiatus for like probably for like September. But I haven't decided. I told them it might happen. I just haven't decided on it yet. Notes on Hollywood tricks. Oh, Jesus. Damn. Woo. But yeah, thinking about taking like a month off, a month hiatus to work on writing and just like, you know, write as much smut as I can. Because, I mean, if we could get like 15, 20 books, like full on fucking romance, smut, fucking short stories, maybe a longer story, maybe a really long story. We have the experiment to prove that people will read it. So it's a direction that if we do want any monetary value, sex is what we sell. Yep. That's the way it is. But anyways, let us get into the reacts for today, guys. And I could probably do Isekai's long title anime style writing really well. I think, 100% Callie. 100%. Your imagination is like primed for that, right? It's fucking, oh my god. Such great grand ideas. Alright, here we go.
These are 8 screenplay tips that novelists could really learn from and would radically help their stories. Hi, I'm John Matthew Fox, and I help authors through editing and courses. Let's get started with number 1, Principle
of antagonism. I'll have to find some good isekais on Moral Road. Hell yeah. The best thing to do is look at the competition and see how you can beat them. Is John Matthew Fox a pseudonym? I don't know, Levi. It's a bit too ideal. I don't know. And I doubt you would want your real name out there if you're a professor like that, right? It just makes sense for it to be a pen name. Read so I know how to write like them. Exactly. No, that's what I mean, Callie. Like you either like you read the competition so you know how to do it better than them, right? Like, you look at it and you go... Like, that's half the time I look at things and I... Like, when I saw the reading and writing category, I was like... After what... Like, because I spent, like, a month or so just, like, looking at streams and doing stuff on top of watching Asmin for, like, what I wanted to do. And when I started looking at the reading and writing section, I was like, you guys are fucking retarded. I can do this way better than them. They're not entertaining. They're not really even fucking streamers. I want to be an actual streamer. I don't just want to be a writer. I want to be a full-on streamer. I want to be entertaining. I want to be all over the place. I want to have multiple pieces of content. I want to just, you know, do interactive stuff. So, looking at the competition, I'm like, I can blow these guys out of the water. And that doesn't really say much because there's only like 3 people in the category that get more than like 30 viewers. But there's one German guy who gets like 700 viewers. I don't know what I want yet. I'm pretty chaotic about it. But I don't know. Yeah. It is what it is, Callie. I'm all over the fucking place with everything.
Full of antagonism. This one's from Robert McKee, who wrote the book Story, which is kind of like the Bible of screenwriting. And this principle just said that your protagonist must face an escalating series of more difficult opponents. And he says that bad stories are ones without an escalation, where every single opposing force is on the same level throughout the whole book. And for an example of this, look at Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. There are 5 levels of opposing forces. The first one is Dudley and the Dursleys. Okay, this is pretty mundane level, bullying and neglect. I mean, it's bad, yeah, but it's not the worst thing imaginable. Then the story escalates up to Malfoy and Snape. Okay, these are magical antagonists with a lot of physical power and a lot of social power, and definitely a step up in terms of the opponent. The third level of opposing forces is the troll in the dungeon. So now we get to the stage of life-threatening physical danger. The fourth level will be Fluffy and the enchanted objects. Now we're mixing both magic and deathly force. And then the fifth level, as you might guess, is Voldemort. Always be escalating those opponents that your protagonist was forced to face. Also, remember that opposing forces don't only have to be beings, they can also be something like the weather or something very internal, like the protagonist's sense of self-doubt. This next screenwriting tip is one that I build out as a book editor, probably hundreds of times. It is number 2, in late, out.
Yeah. In late, out early. Only show what is necessary. Cut all boring. I don't know if boring is the right word to say. Cut all. Oh, I have something planned for Nell and Belfry versus Stella, Angela, and Gawain. Ooh, that sounds epic, Callie. Fuck. I swallowed and breathed at the same time, guys. I think I might have the hiccups now. Only show what is necessary, cut all. I'm just gonna say, only show what's necessary, cut the rest.
Early. This is scene advice, and it says that when you're writing a scene, you want to start that scene as late as possible, wait as long as you can, and then start right there. and then when you end the scene, end as early as you possibly can. So what does this do for you? It makes sure that your scenes aren't these bloated, overweight things with lots of extra before and after, but makes them really tight and really punchy and only gives us the most entertaining part of your story. This advice came from David Mamet, who wrote movies like The Untouchables and Heist. But for example, we're actually going to
That's kind of like a comparison here is like the idea of the stream versus the YouTube videos. Like, the stream has everything in it, but then the YouTube videos are very concise to like whether I'm doing a story, whether I'm playing a video game, whether I'm doing a react, or I'm doing commentary, or I'm doing some sort of like makeup or a collab or something like that, right? So it's like you can get narrowed down to what you want, whereas the stream is just kind of all over the place.
at a scene in The Dark Knight. This is a scene where the Joker is trying to recruit members to their organization, and he snaps a pool cue in half and then says, "All right, guys, there's only one spot. You're gonna have to fight for it." And in the screenplay, look at where the scene ends. The men stare at each other, then stare at the jagged pool cue. Now, a lesser writer would include the fight because they think like, fights are entertaining.
Yes.
Why wouldn't I want to show that to the audience? But we don't need that part of the scene because the point of the scene was to show who the Joker is as a character.
not
You can
to
sort of
show the
guess
fight.
what's going to happen. Oh, one of them's going to win and he's going to be able to join the organization. That is just a great example of what it looks like to get out early in a scene. And hey, Book Fox Academy has over 250 videos to help you with the journey of writing your story. Make sure to check out the hundreds of testimonials on my website. And hey, come join the Book Fox clan. This next tip comes from a legend in the...
He did say clan. He said clan last time too, guys. I think it was just a bad word choice. The Book Fox clan. I mean, it sounds good, but you know, it's just a taboo word. It just sucks, right?
screenwriting industry, and it is number 3, structure your turn.
All right. Structure your turning points.
So the legendary Sid Field pioneered this concept in his book, Screenplay, The Foundations of Screenwriting, where he talked a lot about the 3-act structure and how that creates these 3 really pivotal points inside the narrative where you have to make sure something happens at those points or else it's going...
Act 1, leading up to the fall of Garuda. Act 2, exile of the adventurers and the 100-year quest, the finding of Atomus and the confrontation of Fafnir. And then the 3rd act is learning about the past, confronting the monarch. That's book 1
for the reader. Now, what are these specific points? It's at 25% of the way through your book, 50% of the way through your book, and 75% of the way through your book. And as writers, what you should do is look at these specific points in your book and ask yourself, like, what's the big event? What's the big turning point at that section of my story? And if you don't have one, you should ask yourself, why not? And to see this in action, let's look at the movie The Silence of the Lambs. The Act 1 plot point, which is about 25% of the way through the book, is Clarice meets Hannibal Lecter. So the direction of the story fundamentally changes. Then we have the big midpoint shift at 50% of the way through the story, where we learn that, oh, Buffalo Bill is someone who skins his victims alive. And then Act 2 plot point, which is 75% of the way through the story, we see Hannibal Lecter escape, which leaves Clarice on her own to solve the case. Now, you can use this as a way to map out your story before you write it, but you can also use it as a revision tool to see, like, how is my pacing working? Does the pace of my storyline keep big things happening at these key points? I absolutely love this next point. It is essential for all writers, and it is number 4,
multi-purpose scenes. Single-purpose scenes, why would you include them? You want your scenes to be packed full of layers and purpose and meaning. If it doesn't have that, what's the point of the scene being there?
Multi-purpose scenes. This one comes from John Truby, who wrote the book The Anatomy of Story. And his basic principle is, look, scenes shouldn't...
Like, for instance, like the first scene in Chiral Clones. The entire point of the scene is to set up that Linda is a spy. Set up that she is a chemist and biologist. Set up her personality and understanding that she's kind of like not exactly your normal fit for like what you would expect of a scientist. So that's where it's like the idea of her being a spy kind of clashes with her being a scientist. And the fact that she doesn't even have an idea of where to begin. Like, she just doesn't understand what the results she's getting mean. And I'm sure there's a couple of other things that the scene does as well.
Only be doing one thing. If they are, they're a failure. You need to have your scenes doing multiple things at once. And I gotta really agree with Tribby on this. This is something that I frequently mention as an editor, is I see a scene doing one thing and doing it really well, but then there's another scene right next to it, and it's also doing one thing and doing it well. And I think, how can these scenes be combined so that multiple things are happening inside a single scene? If you have a bunch of single purpose scenes, what does that do? It bloats the book. It just makes it less interesting to read. Now, for an example of how to do this well, let's look at Lord of the Rings, the Council of Elrond. Look at all the different things that are happening in the scene. One, we have exposition. We're learning about the ring's history. Two, we have character development. We get to see every single character's perspective on what should be done with the ring. Three, we have plot advancement. So, you know, they're forming the fellowship, which is the foundation for the rest of the story. Four, we have some thematic exploration. We learn that power corrupts everyone, even those who are extremely powerful already. And fifth, we have some great conflicts set up. We see elves versus dwarves with Legolas and Gimli. We see Boromir versus Aragorn, ring as a weapon versus destroying the ring. So go ahead and pick a scene from your book and interrogate it. Is it accomplishing more than one thing? How many levels is it working on? How is it forwarding the story and establishing character and working on theme? Now this next point is very clever. It is number 5, write characters smarter than you are. The person who came up with this was Brian Koppelman, and he is a writer of shows like
I feel like I do
Rounders,
this.
and Ocean's 13. And he points out, and I do think he's right about this, is that beginning writers tend to write characters who are dumber than they are. And most of the time, if you're not going for humor, dumb characters are simply not as exciting as smart characters. On the other hand, Koppelman points out that when he's working with pro writers,
Levi, it's not a low bar. It's literally like, you know, South Park, like James Cameron raising the bar. It's like you literally have to go into the Marianas Trench to like see the bar. It's so fucking low.
they almost always write characters who are smarter than they are. So let's look at some of Koppelman's films to see whether he follows his own advice. Okay, in Rounders, yeah, Matt Damon is kind of a genius at reading other people and knowing how to play poker. And yes, Ocean's 13 features a lot of incredibly smart characters as well, who simulate earthquakes and have faux reviewers and fake FBI agents. It's brilliant. And then in Billions, I always remember that scene where he's analyzing people and events to figure out how to make stock trades that will earn him hundreds.
Okay, so I had an idea for a bag that gives you anything you want if your charisma is high enough, like a house or food. So I could call it the easiest coaxed bag of accommodations, or the bag that says yes if you're pretty enough. I like both of them, honestly, Callie, but maybe the first one, easily coaxed bag of accommodations. But if you're going for humor, bag says yes if you're pretty enough, might fit it.
Of millions of dollars. So yes, your goal, especially with your protagonists, is to try to write them in a way where they come off as even smarter than you. This next tip comes from Aaron Sorkin. And of course, you know I can't make a screenplay writing video without mentioning him. So here it is, number 6, 3 things in a pile. So
3 things in a pile. You're a pile.
Aaron Sorkin wrote movies like Social Network and Moneyball and Steve Jobs. And we're going to look at that last one for an example of 3 things in a pile. Now, 3 things in a pile just means that inside of a scene, you try to have 3 things happening at once. It could be 3 perspectives. It could be 3 levels of personality. And it's even better if these 3 things are conflicting in some way. So in this scene with Steve Jobs, we see 3 things happening simultaneously. 1, Steve Jobs is being a jerk, which if you've seen the movie is kind of the whole point of the movie. 2, we see Andy Hertzfeld defend Steve and say, oh, you know, no, Steve's not being a jerk right here. And then we see Chris Ann Bredon say, no, Steve is definitely being a jerk. So in storytelling, repetition can be bad, but if you repeat with little variances, like in this scene where everybody has a different perspective and you're commenting on Steve Jobs' jerkiness, then it actually becomes very entertaining. So in your scenes, especially if you have, say, 3 characters in your scene, work on having multiple perspectives clashing with each other. Now, this next insight is a 3-part principle. It is number 7,
All right.
home, work, play.
I'm gonna pick both. Have one of the more sarcastic demon girls be like, maybe you should ask the all-powerful bag that says yes if you're pretty enough. That's smart, Callie. That's super smart. Home, work, play, principle.
So you might know Blake Snyder, maybe not by the movies he's written, but certainly from the book he's written called Save the Cat. And this homework play principle addresses the problem of how do you introduce a character well before you have the inciting incident which really starts the story. And Blake Snyder says that you want to show your protagonist on 3 different realms: the home realm, the work realm, and the play realm. If you can pull that off and do so quickly enough, then the reader's gonna feel enough attachment to this protagonist to want to go on the journey with them. And for an example of this, check out Russell Crowe in the very first Gladiator. First, we see his home life. His beautiful wife is waiting for him. Next, we see him at work, being a very important Roman general. And third, we see him at play at the after party of his troops' victory. So once you've set up that introduction to the character, now it's time to have the inciting incident that starts the story and gets the character on their journey. Okay, I have saved the best for last. And now it's time for the final screenwriting tip that we're gonna learn, and it is number 8. Make your climax into an inciting incident.
All right. Make your climax into an inciting incident.
So I actually don't know who came up with this particular advice. It was sort of an apocryphal piece of advice that I heard ricocheting around the writosphere. Now, the idea behind this principle is that a lot of stories tend to start too late. So one thing that you can do to solve that, if you're struggling with your story, is you take what you think is your climax, what you want to work up with, and start the story with that. That's actually the beginning of your story, not what you want to lead up to. And then figure out how to tell the story from that point onward. So if you do know what screenwriting guru is responsible for this advice, please leave that name in the...
I feel like some of my beginnings are where I prefer to put my inciting incidents. Yeah, I always have the inciting incident at the beginning. Like, within the first, if not within the first paragraph, within like the first 5 paragraphs is usually the inciting incident. But, I mean, I definitely see looking at things from different perspectives. And, like, for instance, like, what would the story look like if instead of starting where I start, where Husai finds the Com Pearl, maybe we start the story at the fight of Garuda. And they're on the walls, and they're just bantering and talking about how ridiculous it would be for the Beastmen to ever try to attack. And then the entire city basically gets wiped out. And then boom, everything falls apart from there. The adventurers get exiled. It's like, yeah, you could start there, but then I see, like, well, like we were discussing the other day about, like, the build-up to Zayd's death and everything like that. Like, there's so much that you almost lose by starting the story there. But the other thing is starting the story somewhere else before the Com Pearl. So it's like, that's the one thing that I'm, like, set in my ways with certain things, where I'm like, I feel like this is how it... If it was going to exist, this is how it would exist. It just kind of falls into its own place, and it feels like this is the beginning of the story, you know? It's like, this is the important part. And as long as I think I feel that way, I think we're at a point where analysis for changing the point of the story will never actually change it because it's in the perfect spot already. but you never know.
Comment section. Now, for an example of this, let's look at Saving Private Ryan. Now, the death of 3 brothers in war, in a lot of ways that could feel like a climax, but in Saving Private Ryan, instead that is made into the inciting incident. Oh, the 3 brothers have died, therefore we need to go save the 4th brothers so this mother doesn't lose all 4 sons to World
Shalom,
War
hey
II.
Smokey.
Now, you can use this advice in a very different way. You can also tell your story non-chronologically, so you're actually starting with your climax and using it as the inciting incident, and then going back from there and telling all the backstory that leads up to that climax. That's a very different way.
That's kind of what we're doing, but we're doing it in almost a reverse way, where the climax of the Calm Pearl and the 100-Year Quest happened 50 years ago, but the very first scene and the first inciting part of the book is the Monarch killing Torg. So when you see Torg again, you're like, oh, it's that character that died. Right? And it gives you that insight into it. It's like, oh my god, okay, well, this is later on. If this is a recording of that... Wait. It talks. I made a video. After this, could we see it? Yes, Callie. Absolutely. Post it in the Discord.
To approach this advice, but I think both those approaches work. An example of this would be, say, Fight Club, where it starts with the gun in his mouth and the building's ready to collapse, and then we backtrack from there and tell all of the story that leads up to that point. Now, you might have watched this whole video and be like, John, you're really gung-ho on screenwriting and how they can help novelists. Well, maybe you should watch my counterpoint to this video, which is called Don't Let Movies Sabotage Your Writing. And this video is all about the ways that novelists should resist screenplay writing techniques, because there's a lot of things that only novelists can do. Check out BookFox Academy if you have.
True. Alright guys, another video for BookFox. Give him a like, give him a view, give him a subscription. You know, head on over there, support his channel. He is quite an amazing author, editor, and... what's the other one? I blanked. Author, editor, and... professor. So he's, you know, he's got a teaching degree, which is good because, like, people sometimes don't know how to teach stuff, but he knows, like, yeah, he's got this shit down, man. We're learning so much shit from this. It's fucking amazing. Okay, Callie, what do we got here? Is this the video? I don't know how to share it. Oh, you're already there. Yeah.
Why am I posed like I'm taking a selfie? Or why are you posed like you're watching a video? Also, why am I flexing so hard? Okay. So, I would like to read you guys a poem. It's supposed to be a welcome poem, but it ended up a freaking love poem instead, so I'm just gonna read that, okay? So let's start. Here goes. For whom do we lie here in bed, whose ears like caves take in the voice of one poet reclined? I'm not even reclined right now, so let's fix that. I whisper, who should be there, in tears as though a heart had been harshly declined, after decades went together spent in fear, that I must tell you I love you. And remind you cannot hide your heart behind transparent leaves, my dear. I know your heart like farmers know a fruit in rot. Yet you are more like sugar under a fire. The hotter you burn, the sweeter you the liar. And though you lie with me, and your heart, I see, grows tired of pumping the same old tunes through thee.
and the truths they hear run free each time you bleed. You love me, you love me, you love me, you love me.
Nice. It's a little quiet though, Callie. Had to really pump the sound up there. But I fucking love it. Hell yeah, brother. I don't have a Ko-Fi, or I'd follow you. Okay. So let's hold on a second. I just gotta do this one thing. There's ads. Hate the way I look on video. Camera looks so much better. Alright, we got ads going here. Grab a toke. We'll just get on with this. Okay, we back? Alright. Yeah, I understand, Callie. I hate my voice. But, I mean, after a while I got used to it, and now it doesn't bother me when I'm, like, editing and stuff like that. it doesn't even click to me. It's like I have this disassociation now, where I don't even recognize the fact that I'm listening to my own voice. I'm just listening to a voice, you know, because I'm so used to hearing it now. It's just one of those things you just kind of build up to. True Stream Hub world. Who would ever get used to listening to my voice, though? Your voice is nice, Callie. My voice is rice. Alright. Here we go. Chapter 16, guys. Bokjo-san, Year of the Tiger. 19th Winter. I'ma eat your voice. Ooh, Callie, that's scary. Eat my voice. Guys, could I be a streamer if I didn't have a voice? The egg with eggs and avocado. Ooh, that sounds really good, Callie. You're making me hungry, bro. But hey, it's a good thing that it's a shorter stream, because then I'll be able to eat earlier. There are some nice things. I would love to stream for a lot longer, but like, man, I really fucking need to get some goddamn sleep. And technically tomorrow's Friday, so it's like, it's my Friday. I don't work for 4 days in a row, so it's gonna be a good time. All I gotta do is get through tomorrow, guys. I just gotta get through tomorrow, which is actually today, but you know, later today. It'll be fine. I just hate the early shifts. They're so annoying. because like they cut the stream down because I have to get up early, and I'm fucking tired anyways, and I hate mornings. And then I get home like at like 8, and I'm like, well fuck, I have like 4 hours before the stream. Like I'm like, by the time I wind down, I'm gonna fucking fall asleep. Just cook white rice, fry some eggs, and drizzle the yolk onto the rice, and put the avocado on your spoon and eat it all together. It's bland, but the combination is damn, Callie, that sounds amazing. That sounds like a breakfast version of chili. You just add some peppers and some green onions on that?
Yo, I am back. You don't have a ball sack.
Nice, bomb dropper. Hell yeah, brother. That's what it's all about. Welcome, welcome, brother. I mean, sometimes I wish, but then I'm like, you know, I'm content being who I am. I just that's why I'm not trans. I'm just a femboy. I just like the idea of being pretty. And sucking dick has nothing to do with it. I didn't laugh at first, but then I imagined you without a ball sack. Oh, yeah, pretty much, right, Callie? Okay. What cuts deepest is not the ice, not the blade. It is the lines and the hate. It is the lies and the hate. Thoughts of King Yi Huan. The great throne hall. Unixication. True, Levi. The great throne hall lay beneath a heavy silence, broken only by the slow cracking of frost forming at the corners of the windows, as though the palace itself were breathing frost. For weeks now, the black stone braziers had burned without pause, yet it was no longer enough. The cold did not retreat. It seemed to rise from something deeper than snow, older even than the kingdom itself. You know, you can use your points, bomb dropper, and go for a wellness check, bro. You know, if you really want, you can spend those points. Whereas over here, we're all just gamblers. Fuck! Guys, I just lost my life savings. I think. Wait, hold on. Yeah, it is toke time. I just don't know if I can do it, but yeah, oh, smoke, it's toke time! Okay. It's shop, buy, and then whatever you want. Toke time.
Do not drink water.
There you
Do
go.
not leave your seat.
That's how you
Do not
use the
leave your
shop,
seat.
and then you can
Do
use
not
that
smoke.
command to figure out
Do
what's
not go
in
to
the shop.
bathroom. Have another Coke.
Unfortunately, Botrix only allows me to have 5 things in the shop, so it's kind of super fucking gay, and not in a good way. 513 is not bad at all. That's like a midway point, boys. I'll accept that. It's only 5 times gay, right? 5 times gay isn't that much. Damn, you're only 2 times gay, bro? I mean, I guess that's good for me. That means you're a top. Let's go. I'll bring the weed, you bring the booze. The great throne hall lay beneath a heavy silence, broken only by the slow cracking of frost forming at the corners of the windows, as though the palace itself were breathing frost. This poem came into my mind. Yes. 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 Upon the throne, draped in white silk woven in threads of silver and symbols of snow dragons, sat Yuan. He wore his gun Ryongpo.
Why are you always live on kind? You should be here sucking my dick.
That doesn't even... Wait, what? Oh, you fucked up! Oh, bomb dropper. I was like, wait, what? Why are you always live on Kick? You should be here sucking my dick. Yes, definitely bomb dropper. 100%. I mean, hey, it happens sometimes, man. It wasn't that important of a one for you to fuck up because, like, once you, like, it, you know, you can redo that one and it's still good. You know, you didn't do it on one that was, like, super important. So, it's all good. Right? You've proven that you're human, you're not a bot, bomb dropper. Unlike all these other people on fucking Kick. Like, what was that guy's name? Smodidity? Yeah, that guy's fucked up. I don't know about that guy. Streaks of white in his hair were carefully hidden beneath his Xiongwa, and his black silk patch, elegant and fitted, covered his left eye. His face was carved from frozen stone, expressionless, distant. Beside him, barely visible, stood the royal guard, their commander, cloaked in shadow near the throne's edge. Gathered on the platform were the ministers of war, of rights, of finance, and before them, upright and stern, stood Grand Counselor Yoon, his deep-set eyes watching in silence. The hall was devoid of nobles, courtiers, or royal family. Only the king, only politics. Jeon Ha, announced one of the guards. The envoys from the south have arrived. The doors creaked open with a long groan. The wind came in with them, bearing a different kind of chill than the north's. A dry, crystalline cold. Ooh, he said crystalline! That's my favorite word! Of all the words in the English language, crystalline is my favorite word. New frost spread across the floor, white at first, then hardening like opaque glass. Yi Huan felt unease stir within him, something vague and dissonant. His white eye, hidden beneath black silk, began to pulse faintly. 3 figures entered. Leading them was Commissioner Nam Gyong, a tall man with a narrow face, weathered skin, and sharply drawn brows. Beside him stood a young scribe and a lightly armored escort. Their footsteps echoed solemnly across the frozen hall. When they knelt before the king, the crack of their knees against the frost sounded like mourning. We bow before his majesty, son of heaven, keeper of the white realms. Nam Gyong said, eyes lowered. Yi Huan regarded him in silence. Rise, he commanded in a low voice. It was the kind of voice glaciers used when they spoke, slow and deep. They obeyed. Nam Gyong looked up, and for a heartbeat he hesitated. It was the first time he had seen the king so closely. The white, half-white hair, the pale skin, the heavy aura around him. He didn't look like a man. He looked like a dragon, sleeping. What news from the south? Asked Grand Counselor Yoon, breaking the tension. Nam Gyong raised his voice, though his tone remained measured, diplomatic. Yet the chill pulsed behind every word. Jeonha, it is no longer snows in the south. It no longer snows in the south. The sky no longer weeps soft flakes. Now it rains sharp frost. What once melted on the skin now cuts. Leaves crack like glass. Trees split beneath ice's weight. Houses collapse beneath layers of crystal. The rivers have stopped flowing. Silence. And the people, asked Yi Huan. The people are freezing to death, Jianhe. The commissioner's voice cracked for the first time. The hearths aren't enough. The elders die in their sleep. Children do not wake. We cannot go on. Our resources are exhausted. Yi Huan did not move. His gaze, hidden behind the patch, seemed to pierce through Namgyong's skin. He saw the truth. Fear, hunger, pain. The man did not lie. The ice had hardened into something like crystal steel. Yi Huan saw even death in his eyes. A pulse, stronger than the last. The white eye burned. And why have you come here? The question fell like lead. All heard it as an accusation. Jianhe, the Minister of Finance, interjected, stepping forward. What the South seeks is a solution, or an explanation. A truce with the winter, added the Minister of Rights. Or must we assume this glaciation is divine will? Muttered another. Namgyong pressed his lips together, then breathed heavily. There are those, Jianhe, who have begun to question the legitimacy of the winter, and of he who reigns over it. My brain isn't working today. That's okay, Bomb Dropper. What's your talent at? Ooh, 29%. Jesus, what about this? Wow, my power level is fucking insane, but my writing talent is shit. Fuck. Alright, guys, I'll fight you. 8%. Oh, damn, Bomb Dropper, no wonder. Fuck, man. Oof. You're just too distracted by being gay. The murmur that followed was barely a restrained roar. 63! Oh, Bomb Dropper, that means I can fight you! We're within, like, the same power level! Fuck yeah, dude! Yi Huan leaned forward slightly. A threat? A plea, corrected the commissioner. But in some villages, small rebellions have begun. They speak of marching north. If the frost continues, more will follow. Talks, look, I need your opinion of my membership idea. Alright, where is it? Is it in Discord? You have the second highest honor in the land, my dear. You get it. You get a front row seat of anything I throw away. Be it research material I gather from libraries, first drafts of new stories, audio I've scrapped or will scrap, videos I don't send anymore. Anywhere. Oh, you're 1K more than me. Yeah, but 1K on a scale of 50K, that's not even that's like 2% power level. That means I'm like 2% stronger than you. That's absolutely within range where you could beat me. That's basically even power level. That's pretty awesome, Callie. I like that. The scrapyard. Think chair. Ah, and then you get like all the bloopers and outside stuff, all the really interesting side effects and stuff like that. All the things that people like to see behind the scenes. That's smart. King leaned back, his face revealed nothing, but something flickered in his one visible eye. Fear? Pain? Rage? Grand Counselor Yoon stepped forward, his voice was firm. And what solution does the South offer? Do they intend to melt winter with torches? We do not seek war, said Nam, but some now speak of Prince Yi Suok, who has shown compassion for the poor. They say his heart still beats warm, and that yours, he glanced toward the throne, does not beat at all. The words echoed. Yi Huan rose to his feet. The hall seemed to inhale. Go, and tell the southern villagers, he said, voice like ice, that winter has not come to punish them, it has come to warn them. Warn us of what, Jianhe? Yi Huan lowered his gaze. No one understood his silence. No one except Grand Counselor Yoon. They alone knew the truth behind the white eye in the winter, of what sleeps beneath the snow. The silence that followed was sepulchral. Sepulchral? I have no idea. Yi Huan stepped down from the throne. His robe dragged frost across the floor. That's the first time I've heard of anyone say anything of what sleeps beneath the snow. That winter is actually saving them from something far greater. Yi Huan stepped down from the throne. His robe dragged frost across the floor. He passed the commissioner without a glance. His cold aura lingered in the room like floating shards of moon dust. You may rest at the House of Currents for the night. You will be seen to. And with that, he disappeared through the main doors. The ministers began whispering the moment they closed. Words like abdication, curse, bloodline, imposter. One by one, the murmurs grew louder. In the center of the hall, Nam Gyong remained silent. A drop of frost clung to his beard. This kingdom, he whispered, will not fall to war. The doors to the royal quarters burst open. Yi Huan stormed inside like a silent tempest, his breath ragged, his jaw clenched, his gaze aflame with fury. He slammed the door shut behind him, leaving the conspiratorial whispers of the ministers and the shadows of the southern voice behind, but the echo of his own words still rang in his skull. How to increase talent. Go to the Discord and go to the Dreyfus thing that Callie posted. Or, sorry, Blessed posted in the general chat. Check this out. Oh shit, Cute Muffin! Yo, yo, yo! How's it going, bro?
Welcome, Raiders, to the stream.
How are you?
Dude, you heard him. I'll pick you up at 5. Be outside. I don't want to have to talk to your mom.
Oh, I will be there.
How is the stream, Muffin? How are you? What is going on, brother? How was your day? Good to see you, good sir.
Daddy's home. Quit hockey, I heard you the first time.
True. It was fine, didn't play TM 2020, rather TM Turbo, just hunted a few maps, got top 32, 37, top 500 or something. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all, Muffin. Nice, nice. Pain pierced his and the echo of his words still rang in his skull. Pain pierced his body like stakes of ice, not only physical but deeper. The white eye throbbed beneath the silk patch like a living creature, pulsing, hungry, demanding something he could not name. Felt as if an ancient wound had awakened. Bethy Rose! Welcome, welcome! How are you? Hey, hope you're well. Just lurking while I do a few things around the house. Sounds good. Thank you so much for the lurk. I really appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Listen to a banger, thought by Anks. Welcome back.
Hi, sweetie. Danger was just telling me you used to Arch Commander Consummate.
Are you a
Thinks you'd be
reader? Are you a
perfect match for
writer?
us.
We are in the middle of reading a story.
Smoking?
Who?
You.
Why?
We mainly do
Why are
story
you
content.
smoking?
Maybe.
What? When did
Do
you
some
start
other random
smoking?
stuff as well.
1989-ish.
So you have been lying. It all makes sense. The filled ashtrays, the burning pine-scented hairspray.
Yes, I'll say it. Her 3-pack-a-day voice.
True. Desperate, he yanked at the collar of his crimson robe, tore off his day-day, and flung it to the ground. A strangled cry escaped him as he pressed his hand to his face, fingers clenched around the patch in despair. Enough. Enough, he whispered, but the eye kept burning. He collapsed to his knees. Is that lurking while listening? Otherwise, Scotty's talking to himself again. True, Muffin, true. Hey, man, you gotta start somewhere. If you're the only one who's... If you're not even listening to your own stream, you're not talking to yourself, are you even really a streamer? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't even really matter if anyone's here. Bro, you sent me an IRL. I said in T. Wait. You sended me to a IRL. I said in T. I think I shouldn't have a mic. No, Muffin, you should, because it's fucking funny and entertaining, and people fucking love that shit. Go hard, good sir. Frozen floor bit through his clothes, his hands trembled, the air thickened, dense as the dawn mist that cloaked the palace each morning. His heart constricted in his chest. He couldn't breathe. It was as if something inside him was trying to break free, to tear him open from within. I don't want to be insane like you, talking to people that aren't there. Well, it's getting used to a comfortability, Muffin, right? Like... The first step to talking and communication is understanding yourself. So, like, sometimes if I stream, like, really, really long, like 8 to 10 hours, and I'll, like, go downstairs because my parents are awake, and they'll always be like, they'll say something about, like, hearing me in the stream. It's the only time they can hear me. Ooh, double F. What do I have? B. That's just a normal, regular-sized tit for a small person like me. Just a small tit for a small dude. The door creaked open with caution. Lady Yoon entered, silent as a falling snowflake. She found him on the ground, body hunched, shoulders shaking with a tremor that was not from cold, but from fear, rage, pain. Silent tears streamed down his face. He made no sound, but everything in him was a muffled scream. What's the max on the command? A quadruple G. Muffin. Quadruple G. Goes from double A to quadruple G. Because double A is basically inverted. And double G is basically like 1,000 pounds. Yeah, I've gotten quadruple G the very first time. That put Book Buyer in quite the whoa, what the fuck? Because she's only like an F? Or was she a triple D? I think she's an F. Negative, yeah, inverted tits. They go in, not out. She approached without a word. Kneeling beside him, she reached out for a moment. Cup size without band length is irrelevant. I have no idea, Levi. I'm not an expert in that. Kneeling beside him, she reached out. For a moment, she hesitated, as though about to touch something sacred and broken, and she laid her hand on his back. Jeon-ha, she whispered. Yi-hwan didn't answer. His face was buried in his hands, but his shoulders trembled again. Lady Yoon wrapped her arms around him, without words, without protocol, only humanity. She had seen him grow, had heard him cry on moonless nights when he was just a child, asked why he couldn't be like the other others. No one knew him as she did, not even his mother. If quadruple G is the max, what's the IRL max? Like triple F? I'm an engaged man, so I actually know how bra sizes work. Well, there you go, Levi. That makes sense. Ideal is a large cup in a small number. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Because then it appears you have bigger boobs. Good luck, Levi, says Muffin. I don't know if he says that sarcastically. I wouldn't say irrelevant, but significantly less indicative of the actual size. An A cup on a large band is really small, but it's a B cup on a small band. They're pretty big relatively. Yeah, I could see that. Ads. Welcome, Sean. How's it going, brother? How are you? I love how we start talking about this and it instantly summons everyone. See, guys, sex sells. Also, being wrong about sex sells. This is why I'm staying single. If you don't want to solve your problems, don't make them. Oh my god, I love your mentality, Muffin. It's so brutal, but so true. Everyone, go join my goddamn community. Guys, we need to get more people in the Twitter community. You people that use Twitter should go join the Twitter community. Alright, that's like the one and only time I'm going to plug it because we're in the middle of an ad. Forgot the shout out. Cup size is just the size hands. You need to squeeze them. The number is the length around the chest. If there's a big number and they're double D, then there's probably just fat. True, Levi. I'll shout out your mom, Muffin. Are we back, guys? Are we back? Okay. Why? He finally whispered, voice cracking. Why does the world look at me with hate when I never chose to be born this way? Lady Yoon closed her eyes. Because they are afraid. And what people do not understand, they destroy. Then, hurried footsteps echoed down the corridor. Royal Eunuch Jang and the Swordsmaster Hong Yong, leader of the king's personal guard, entered without waiting for permission. Nothing against fat bitches, of course. Fat bitches deserve love too. I love chunky girls, Levi, but yeah, I understand what you mean. A chunky girl with a double bead isn't really a big boobs, right? But like a skinny bitch with like an A cup is like pretty decent, right? Royal Eunuch Jang. Oh, we already read that. Jeonha, Jang exclaimed upon seeing him. What has happened? Yong stepped forward, her face stern, her eyes, sharp and loyal, softened at the sight of her young king on the floor, clutched in the arms of the only woman who had never left his side. Staying single is kinda meh. Having two incomes is also a requirement for basic survival now. Roommates doesn't quite cut it either because you can't trust them even half as much as a wife or husband. The trick is to literally be yourself and find a person who you literally wouldn't want to live without. Dink, gang, rise up. True! Is he wounded? She said. No, Lady Yoon replied, her voice shaking. It's bleeding from within. Then the white eye awakened. The patch began to moisten, not with water, but with a tear. A silver mist began to rise from the cloth, swirling like living fog. The air turned heavy, frozen, suffocating. Heat vanished from the room. The coals went dark, the candles extinguished without wind. The eye, murmured the eunuch, stepping back in fear. Young grasped the hilt of her sword, though she did not draw it. She knew steel was useless against this. Lady Yoon did not move. She tightened her embrace, and her voice was no longer that of a servant. Look at me, Jeonha. Breathe. I am here. True! Pump up the jam! Pump up the jam! Let's go! It hurts, he whispered, voice small and lost. Lady Yoon, it's burning me from the inside. She raised her face to him. Gently, she took his hands in hers, tender, steady. Then, risking her own life, she removed the patch as if unwrapping a lullaby. The white eye was exposed, encircled by a faint blue halo that glowed like light on ice. I ain't stopping until I get a triple G. Alright, keep going, Bomb Dropper. You got this. I believe in you, bro. I believe in you! Pain was written all over his face, but so was the power. A second later, the air shattered into a breath of frost. The walls groaned. A spiderweb of ice spread across the floor. Sweaty 329 cat jam. I'm trying to figure out emotes on phone. Ooh, damn, Muffin. Good luck with that. B-size bountiful glory. Nice. Bees would look good on my build. Yeah, the C cup that I have looks a little big on me, I think. I got it. Nice. Nice, Muffin. Love it. Pain was written all over his face, but so was the power. Oh, damn, but you got a quadruple G! Quadruple G, bro! That's insane! Congrats, your tits are fucking huge! Those massive milkers! A second later, the air shattered into a breath of frost. The walls groaned, a spiderweb of ice spread across the floor, but then, Lady Yoon's hand, warm and firm, pressed against the king's chest. This will not break you, Jeon-ha, she said with conviction. You will not become what they claim. You are not a monster. You never were. You are the heir that Winter chose. Can I get 4 big... Boom! 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 How about that, Levi? Were those booms big enough? Yi Huan closed his eyes slowly. The light of the... I'm a woman now? Yeah, you got a click going on there, Muffin. Those were phenomenal booms. Well, I'm glad that you think that, Levi. Hell yeah. I did something right in my life, guys. I can retire young. Let's do it. Yi Huan closed his eyes. Slowly, the light of the white eye dimmed. The mist receded. The coals flickered back to life. Yon released her grip on the sword. Eunuch Jang swallowed hard. No one spoke, and it wasn't the first time. Do you have the command for big dick? No, it's just length. 15 centimeters. That's almost max, guys. 16 centimeters is max. Damn, Levi's twinning with Muffin. Nice. Yuan closed his eyes. Slowly, the light of the white eye dimmed. The mist receded. The coals flickered back to life. Yuan raised her sword, or released her hand on her sword. Lady Yoon wiped Yi Huan's face with the cloth, just as she did when he was a child. She placed the patch back over his eye, tying it with a black silk ribbon and a blind knot like a vow. 1.5 longer than mine. This is not just a patch, Jeon-ha, she said, eyes full of tears. It is my devotion, the love the queen could never show you for your own protection. I may be only a servant of this palace, but my loyalty is yours. 1,061% gay, Muffin! Holy fuck, dude, that's 8% off of maximum. Maximum gay! She's got 7 in a row. Bomb Dropper, it's trying to say something with that. I think that might just actually be accurate. 1 centimeter? You're just never gonna win, Bomb Dropper. The game's rigged against you, so don't play it. Yeah, you can do depth too. Corn chip size. Are you playing the world's smallest violin? No, I'm jacking off and trying to suck off the world's tiniest cock. There you go, that's better. CCC, but is that but crispy. Scotty, I'm right here. You're not allowed to do that, Muffin. You get me in trouble. Eyes full of tears. It's my devotion. The love of the queen could never show. Alright, okay, yeah. Yuan looked at her in silence. And for the first time since frost blanketed the kingdom, he allowed himself to rest in someone's arms. Seeing the king calm again, Lady Yun turned towards Eunuch Jang and gave him a quiet nod. He understood and left immediately. Damn, Muffin, you got those points going on. I dare you to gamble all. Muffin, I dare you to gamble all. I dare you. You gonna do it? I double dog dare ya. Man, you do it so many times, Bomb Dropper, you just forget how to do it, right? Eunuch Jang rang through the frozen corridors of the inner palace, his breath escaping in white clouds. His shoes slipped on the icy floor, but he didn't stop until he reached the carved wooden doors that guarded the quarters of the queen consort, Yun Min. 7 seems to be your go-to, Bomb Dropper. 2 court ladies raised their brows as they bowed deeply. What's the urgency, Eunuch Jang? Asked one sternly. It's the king, he gasped. He's had another episode. Lady Yun is with him. But the white eye reacted. Silence. One of the doors creaked open. Yu Min appeared tall and rigid as a jade statue, still dressed in her dark blue sangbok, faintly embroidered with frost lilies. She had been reading documents from the State Council, but the eunuch's face made her close them softly. Fuck! Man, you're not getting anywhere. Ah, 69 damage. How the fuck did you do 69 damage, Muffin? This is fucked up, dude. I swear, it's fucking rigged. It's fucking rigged, bro. It's not possible. It's scary, man. The world's scary sometimes. Eunuch lowered his head. He knew better than to expect tenderness from her. Your Majesty, he collapsed. He was shouting, weeping. Yun Min closed her eyes briefly. When she opened them again, she had already buried emotion beneath layers of detachment. More says 4 centimeter bat. Suck my dick! Suck my... The throne demands sacrifice. He knew this from the moment he could understand. If he breaks now, he is unworthy of the name he bears. She turned on her heel with quiet elegance and called to one of her attendants. Prepare my cloak. I will see the royal counselor, Lord Yun Jijang. Yes, if the south freezes until it shatters, we cannot let them see him weak. No one must know what happened this morning. Not the envoys, not the ministers. The eunuch raised his head, uncertain. And the king? Lady Yun will calm him. She will dress him. She will seat him on his throne, and he will do his duty. Her eyes gleamed with resolve as she tightened the jade clasp of her cloak. For if he cannot rule his own body, how can he rule a kingdom crumbling beneath his feet? Yun Min left her quarters, followed by her retinue without looking back. Finally! Race. Avian. I'm a Moogle! Guys, see? I'm a Moogle! Yeah, there's so many commands, guys. I always forget about them. Muffin's the cat girl, the true cat girl, the Mithra. Nice. Oh, Jesus, I'm fucking tired. Where is the thingamajigamabobafuck? Is it not here? The fuck? Is it in the tab? There it is. That's why I couldn't find it. Mithra as a cat girl? Yes. Wait. Yeah, I'm retarded. Half of those don't work on Kick. I never set them up on Kick because no one ever uses Kick, Bomb Dropper. Nope, the command doesn't exist on Kick. I forgot about that, so we'll have to do that. There's probably like 5 or 6 commands that don't work on Kick because I didn't update them. Probably Race. But Bust works, so maybe Race is the only one that I didn't do. I'm trying to think of any others that I didn't do on Kick. Maybe it is just Race. I don't need it. I have GGGG. True. If you guys want to check out this story and read this story, we'll go to the main page here, and I will throw this guys at you. You guys want to check that out? Alright, so we have come to the end of the stream, guys. But we want to do one thing before we go away, and that's talk about a podcast. So I was talking earlier with Sinister about he wanted to do a collab. So I was like, okay, well, let's do something that's kind of like a podcast, like collab thing, where we basically like do something kind of like an author's corner, where we talk about like ourselves and stuff like that, like us as people, how we've gotten to the places that we're at and stuff like that. And we could bring, like, if people wanted, we could bring on viewers and have viewers talk about, you know, their experiences with writing. And we could do this as kind of like a weekly podcast, as like an extra piece that's like separate from the stream. Like we would kind of like maybe start early, and or maybe like, you know, have it as an entirely separate thing. I don't know. I'd like your guys' feedback on that. What you guys would think about that. Would you be interested in participating in that? I'm just trying to judge feedback and engagement for it to see if people are interested. Because I think it's cool. And maybe even if we just did it on Discord as a thing, and then, you know, released it on, like, YouTube or, like, something as, like, exclusives. And maybe we could have them as exclusives. And, you know, something like that. I think that would be pretty interesting. But, yeah, just to give you guys a little thought on that. We'll go a deep dive into it tomorrow. But I just wanted to give a little tidbit of that, of what we're thinking about. And how we want to go through with that. But, anyways. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out, guys. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you so much for the raid, Muffin. You are amazing. I love you. Guys, it was a little bit of a small day today. Tiny, tiny day. But hey, we got a lot done for what we did, right? So remember, hey, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you! Alright, boys. Where are we going? What we at? What we doing? Who we going? What we raid? What we know? What's we going? What we at? What we do? Here we are. Let's do this. Guys, I think we instantly just boom. Instantly found it. Instantly. Fuck you, Bomb Dropper. I'm sorry. If I don't have 5 viewers on Kick, I can't raid. So you just kind of get left out. Get your Wii U's ready, everyone! Get your Wii U's ready!